fantasies.
It's New Comic Book Day again. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the place where we strive to make every hump day your favorite day of the week. Place where we think all the deep thoughts about all the shallow things until we are all dead. Welcome. Well placed. Welcome to the Deeper Issues Nerdcast. My name is Pablo Romero Estevez. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Rowdy tonight.
Yeah, crowd's insane tonight. I don't know how to get rid of this little thing here that pops up at the bottom where it says Deeper Issues Nerdcast. I don't want that there, StreamYard, but we'll figure that out as we go. If this is your first time joining us, we are the Deeper Issues Nerdcast, a comic book club where each week we bring you or we dive into a fresh #1 comic that anyone can enjoy, no nerdy background required. We prefer to feature comics outside the two most prominent publishers in the industry, Marvel and DC, because there's already so many talented and knowledgeable creators out there that can help you with that. We like to spotlight an indie or creator-owned book. We are the anti-comic book gatekeeping podcast, where we can hopefully encourage you to walk in your local comic shop, discover what speaks to you, find compelling stories, appreciate modern art, and find your fandom and community. Joining me per usual, the crew, the gang's in the building. To my left, this joke, I'm going to always introduce you as the Good Diddy because it's so specific, right? But the Good Diddy is in the building. Olivia.
Hello.
Julian. King.
Thank you. Put some respect on it.
Put some respect on that. The right hand here at the Deeper Issues Nerdcast, the man standing in front of our newly renovated VHS wall with a lot of stuff happening back there. The man wears his sunglasses at night inside. Because fuck what you think. Society. All right. Mr. Tie Photography.
Future's so bright, gotta wear these bad boys.
Yeah, absolutely. Future is bright. Yeah.
We got people saying hello in the chat.
Do we?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. Hello.
Hello.
Hello there. Well, this week, y'all, I don't know if you can see behind me, by the way. I'm terrible at placement. Oh, it's not even behind me. Where's the book that we're reading? Oh, Diddy's got it. Okay. This week, we're reading from Sumerian and Massive. This trade just dropped, and I had to hunt this guy down. A lot of the shops in the Orange County area, anyways, did not have it in stock. Well, that'll hopefully change after this podcast, of course. We are reading American Psycho from Michael Calero, Piotr Kowalski. Piotr Kowalski is slowly becoming one of my favorite artists in the game right now, by the way. He did the Violator thing. Mm-hmm. I know, and he's done, what was the other thing that we read recently that had a Piotr Kowalski?
Not Transport, no.
No, that's Daniel Warren Johnson. We'll get to that. Anyways, the Violator book is where I discovered him by Mark Andreyko. There was something I recently read where he had done the art for as well, and he never disappoints. Colors by Brad Simpson and letters by Micah Myers. So pretty cool book. If you're a fan of, this is usually, I guess we say no context, but there's a little context this week, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
You need
a lot.
There's a lot of context actually in this one.
So I've learned.
Yeah. You have to at least have seen American Psycho. We'll talk about some other comic books. But this is a pretty cool book. Once more, it is a company called Sumerian. Hold on, let me pull up. Oh, the synopsis is on the back of the book. I don't even need to pull it up. As familiar faces from the film emerge with shocking new layers in the blood-soaked streets of Manhattan, reveal secrets that change everything you thought you knew. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me rewind. Delve into the dark and twisted underbelly of New York City like never before in this gripping graphic novel reimagining the cult classic film American Psycho. Collecting all 5 issues of the best-selling comic series, this edition doesn't just revisit Patrick Bateman's notorious killing spree, it transforms it. You basically see an alternate perspective of the events from American Psycho from new kind of characters. And then even like a different point in time.
Yeah. It's like we'll get into it.
We'll get into it. We'll talk about that at the end of tonight's show, as well as kind of a conversation that spawned from this book. The reason why we picked it is because we're also going to be exploring in the same conversation misunderstood films. Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah,
We'll get
we'll get into it. And it's funny, Sumerian Records, we were talking about it earlier. That's the label that, funny enough, Poppy is on.
Yeah.
Smashing Pumpkins.
Smashing Pumpkins are on Sumerian.
Yeah. I See Stars, Kitty, Hollywood Undead, Chone, and Bad Omens for those that are into that music scene.
Oh,
Bad Omens, K-Rock likes playing them, so
okay.
they're getting more mainstream.
So Sumerian is not just a comic book publisher; they're a music label.
They were a music label first. I didn't know Sumerian made comics, and it's so funny because they took over Behemoth. Because I have the comic A Girl Walks Alone at Night. That was in my copy, says Behemoth, and if you buy the newer issue, it does say Sumerian on it now.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was a Sumerian and Massive kind of like a co-publishing. I'm not 100% sure what, but I think some of the things were also from Massive. It doesn't even say it in the book.
I think Sumerian put out like a playlist for this comic book.
They have a and they have a vinyl.
They do have a vinyl.
Yeah,
They have like a vinyl record that you can I guess like it's a special edition with a hardcover and a vinyl that's this really cool printed like American Psycho vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
I dug it because we have a vinyl player here because but yeah, it's sold out.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I had to track this book down because it's like I said, it was hard to find. And of all places, guess where I went today?
I know.
I know. Yeah, you told
You
me.
can pretend like you don't know.
Where, Pablo?
Where did you go?
Yeah, come on. Chew me up here. Like, alley.
Where did you go?
Oh, so today. Actually, you know what? This is a perfect segue into the next part of our podcast of what did I learn?
Oh, okay. Then you go first.
So this is what we learned this week from last week. There we go. Yeah, that's a good sound to go to. I went to Barnes and Noble today to find this comic book because this was the only people carrying it,
And they had it.
Yeah.
and I learned Barnes and Noble has a bitching graphic novels and manga section. I haven't been they're scarce now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I think they're still going strong. I read a headline a long time ago. It wasn't, but I remember, I think they're actually opening like 30 new stores or something like that.
Oh, that's great news.
Yeah. And specifically one here in Orange too. There was like one that burned down and they're reopening it at the block of Orange, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah.
And Barnes and Noble, it's dope. They have like a expansive manga, graphic novel collection, everything. Marvel, DC, Image, Boom, Sumerian.
Yeah.
Because it's a smaller thing. Like if you're not a bigger shop, not to knock any of the shops that we didn't get this from, it's totally fine. Like some shops order based on, they're small businesses, so they'll order based on their customers or clientele or requests, but we fly by the seat of our pants here. So we like decide the thing the next week. I mean, the week before.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, we tracked it down, and Barnes and Noble is also sells a boatload. I was going to say ass load. Should I just say ass load?
You already did.
Shitload. A boatload sounded stupid. A shitload of vinyls. They have a bunch of dope vinyls,
dude.
and they have Blu-ray and DVD.
Yeah.
And
They have their own exclusives too.
Yeah.
They got some great books, man. I missed Barnes and Nobles, and I very happy I walked in there because there's not like a lot of places that are. There's places like there's specialty places, right? There's like Amoeba and stuff like that. But Barnes and Nobles is like a chain that is pretty much everywhere that makes cool ass books accessible to people.
Yeah, the one next to my house has all the comics and movies and records all in like the same area. And it's like so cool now. It just changed like 2 years ago. They had the comics upstairs and like the movies and all in one section, but then they just combined them. And it's and they have like couches in there and stuff and like music playing. It feels like a whole different vibe. It's really cool.
Yeah, I dug it a lot.
I got all my trades of Saga there at Barnes. Yeah.
They had the dope, the hardcover. I mean, like, look, if at the same time we all want to encourage just comics reading in general, right? Like reading comics, modern comics. There's a lot of amazing stories out there. I don't know if Barnes and Noble. It's not like a publicly traded company. I think does somebody own Barnes and Noble?
Tommy Jeff.
Tommy Jeff is sick this week. By the way, we didn't say that. Sorry, Tommy Jeff. We hope you feel better.
We missed you, man.
We missed you. And he's the dude that always is like. He's like the
Keeping
smart
us.
dude in the room.
Yeah.
I'm just like
Don't bum me out.
No, I mean, yeah, you're smart too. Did you guys?
No, I meant about like don't tell me who owns Barnes and Noble.
Elliott Investment Management. I don't know.
Doesn't sound good. Doesn't sound good.
Is and run by CEO and bookseller James Daunt. I don't know.
I miss
managing
Borders.
Director of Waterstone Bookstores in the UK and founder of Daunt Books.
In Idaho, we had a place called Hastings.
Oh my God, you guys had Hastings?
Yeah, we had Hastings. It was sick.
I thought they were only in New York because they had
Idaho's a weird place.
Yeah,
I don't know what to tell you.
Because they did the Deadpool variants. Like they were the only ones getting like these exclusive, like the Hastings variants. I'm like,
wow.
like, what the hell's Hastings?
What the hell's Hastings? That's interesting.
Yeah, I have one in my room. But it's funny too because Barnes and Noble, they get their own exclusive, like World Tree by James Tynion. There's like exclusive covers.
Oh, Barnes and Noble ones.
Yeah, exclusive like trade. It's a trade, but like normally it's like the green cover, but for Barnes and Noble, it's like a different cover. So, for collectors out there, right? Like, support your local business, and you can also buy your things from Barnes and Noble.
No, yeah, Barnes and Noble is dope. So that's what I learned this week. What I learned is, fuck yeah, Barnes and Noble. What about you, Diddy? What'd you learn this week? Also, fuck yeah, Barnes.
Fuck yeah, Barnes and Noble.
Yeah,
I've been knowing that. I think what I learned is that the other day somebody came up to me at work and was like, "Oh, we're doing a Super Bowl pool," and I was like, "What the hell, Super Bowl? When's that?" And like I can't not stress, like we watch every single football game in my work, like it's always on, like football's always on, but I don't pay attention at all. I don't think I've watched or pay attention to a single game.
Come on, Diddy.
I didn't know. I was like, "What? Super Bowl's already happening?" Like,
yeah.
I was like, "Who's in it?"
It's this week.
It's Sunday.
It's Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coming Sunday.
We're going to. You guys are invited to a Super Bowl party. Not at my house. I'm just inviting y'all to the Super Bowl party. I'm going with you.
I have to work, and I won't watch it probably. But I have not paid attention. Well, my lesson was, I think, that even if you work at a bar and the games are on all the time, you don't watch anything while you're working.
I used to bartend.
Because you're a good worker.
Yeah, because you're doing it. Yeah, you're working efficiently.
Not me. I'd be watching. What's going on?
I used to bartend. I'd put on wrestling in New Orleans.
I always put on wrestling, and then they change it.
Yeah, I put on like Raw, and I
put on Raw every single week, and then they're like, come on."
Yeah, no, can't put this on.
Go back to guys talking about football, even though it's over.
Yeah, what the heck? Why wouldn't you want to watch wrestling? I used to make a thing out of it. Yeah, I bartended for years, did he? I used to tend bar.
I never knew that.
Yeah, for like over 10 years of my life.
Damn.
Probably.
Why aren't you making us drinks here?
He made us the very nice Dorito shot.
No, he poured it in a glass.
That's most of bartending.
Yeah.
Hate to break it to you.
That's what we learned is bartending is just pouring shit into a glass.
All you do is
pour things into glasses. I drink tequila. Like I drink like straight. Come on.
Oh, okay.
Come on. I'm drinking.
Yeah. So you're not gonna make me a Long Island, is what you're saying?
I can make you a Long Island, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you want.
No, I gotta drive home.
That's like every liquor plus triple sec and there's like a splash of Coke
and a splash of lemon.
And lemon, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be damned if I don't have that.
It's every clear liquor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gin, tequila, vodka, triple sec.
Yeah, every clear liquor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My favorite.
It sounds terrible. I've never had one.
Every time I think of Long Island STs, I think of Cruel Intentions. I was just organizing the VHSs.
I love that movie.
What's her name gets drunk on the Long Islands or whatever.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. Like,
yeah.
2 of those, I'm done.
If I had one sip of one of those, I think that I would be out for the count.
Long Island gives you a fuck ton. Joe on the Instagram. Look, we're keeping an eye on the chat now.
Yeah. I can't see YouTube, but I can see Instagram.
Okay, you can. All right.
I can see Instagram.
Ty, what'd you learn this week?
Bring it home.
Come on, Ty. What'd you learn?
How am I gonna beat pouring shit in glass?
Yeah.
I can't beat that.
Doesn't get better than that.
Well, this will kind of segue into what we'll talk about next. So I watched the Jurassic Park trailer.
Oh.
That was released this morning.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
Should we do a live reaction?
I think we should.
Do we do that? Do we like?
Let's do it. I'm down. After this, I'm down.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna be a bitch about it.
Okay, look. So here's the thing. So what I learned is that it's not something I learned. I kind of figured this would happen. These big blockbuster films, they want their money, right? They're gonna get. They want to sell their toys.
Scarlett Johansson and dinosaurs. I'm in, baby.
ScarJo?
Yeah, she's the main protagonist in this film.
ScarJo. Hold on, not just ScarJo. ScarJo and dinosaurs.
That's right. Put some respect on those dinosaur names.
Yeah. Come on.
That's true.
ScarJo and Velociraptors.
Mahershala Ali, I think, is in it too.
Okay.
But what I learned is that obviously don't read everything you see on the internet. There was heavy rumors that this movie was going to be rated R to pay respect to the original novelization of Jurassic Park, the original book. Like
the Michael Crichton novel. Was that that wasn't like an R-rated? That wasn't R.
You didn't read it?
I did. You know what? Ironically enough, that's one of the books that I did dive into at a weirdly young age.
Right. Because it's Jurassic Park. It's dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like Nedry or the guy that plays Newman, his death, his guts spill out, and the dinosaur rips him, carries him by his head. That's how he dies. Not a car. Not a dinosaur in a car.
Yeah.
It slashes him open. His guts spill out.
Hey, well.
So that's what I was expecting from this movie. I'm like, no, they're not going to do it. I'm pretty sure it's going to be PG-13, so they can sell their dinosaur toys.
Would you like that death opposed to the death that we got? That death is pretty iconic.
No, I'm not discrediting the death.
I'm just wondering though, I'm just general question. Would that be cooler than
a graphic death?
A death? Because they're saying that this movie is going to be more like a horror film, but it's going to be PG-13.
Hey. I'm into that.
I'm into that.
Did it look good?
We'll do a live reaction.
Okay.
All right. There's one scene from
hey, crystal clear.
the first Jurassic Park was pretty terrifying.
Super scary.
Yeah, for its time. Yeah,
for its time. Yeah.
Still, if you were a kid watching those kids hide from those velociraptors,
100%.
The tension in that scene is intense, and then even the tension in Lost World of the kind of train thing, the RV thing that they're in with the glass and everything.
Yeah. Dude, Samuel L. Jackson's arm,
oh yeah, dude, the guy getting eaten on the toilet.
That was funny.
Newman's in it.
Yeah,
dude, that's what I'm saying. So
hang on to your butts.
Hang on to your butts.
Sorry, we're getting that.
No, I love it. I love it. But it's just one of those things. It's I learned that they're just too afraid to do an R-rated Jurassic Park because it's at the end of the day they know they're gonna get more families in if they make it PG-13.
Yeah,
cowards.
God damn it!
That's true though. I'll tell you, that's what I like about Jurassic Park is I watched that with my 5 and 6 year old. But even in Jurassic World, there was the scene with the Indominus Rex or whatever the hell it was called,
right?
Where all the SWAT team dudes are coming to find it, and they're like, it could camouflage, and there's a brutal murdering of 12 dudes.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And I had to distract Finn when it's happening. I'm like, hey, look over here. Check out these Pokemon cards I got. Something. But yeah, that so there's brutality.
There's brutality to it.
I wouldn't want to see a super gory Jurassic Park, I think.
Look, I would. If they make it on DVD, if they make it on physical media and they're there's an unrated version, I'm all in.
Did you like Velocipaster? Did watch that?
I saw the trailer.
Velocipaster.
In the new one, are they going to give the dinosaurs feathers?
So they didn't
be more accurate.
And that was the other thing about the original novel too. The dinosaur, there was Carnotaurus, there was more accurate, dinosaurs. I think so, but I don't want to spoil. We'll do a live reaction because they're doing something different that they've been rumoring to do for years.
Oh,
and they're finally doing it.
Oh.
Okay. And I didn't, when I watched the trailer, I was like, oh, okay, solid trailer. And then everyone's like, oh, did you see the insert thing here? And I'm like, no. And I had to watch the trailer again. I was like, oh, it's right there. You have to pause it to see it.
It's one feather.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to get Okay, I guess we can get sound of this.
I mean, I've seen it. As long. Oh, I guess. Oh, I can't see the screen. Oh, I can watch the live.
I can put it up on the thing over here.
Yeah, do you put it on the TV?
Can I? Can I do that?
Yeah.
Or Diddy, if you want, I can put it on the TV. You know what? I don't know. Would you get booted off to be like, hey, you guys are watching?
We're not making any money off this podcast, so I don't think so.
Yeah. Don't tell them that.
I mean, we need the money, Diddy. Please sponsor us.
We're so unorganized. We don't have a Patreon. All right, we're not asking for anything.
Or that link that's like buy me coffee. Have you seen those?
Super chat. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Buy me a beer.
Buy me a beer. Oh, buy me a comic.
Buy me. Yeah.
Yeah. But we're gonna use it for beer. We know what we're about. We know what we're about.
I'm just gonna put it. What's it called? Jurassic World. What?
You say Pearled?
What's it called?
It's called Pearl
Jurassic Rebirth. I think it's called Rebirth.
I don't know how to spell it. Jurassic.
You can't spell Jurassic with that ass. Sorry.
Before we can dive into so we'll go into the Jurassic Park thing and then we'll do news and stuff. Before we get into this, Barnes and Noble was a publicly
sponsor
traded.
Us.
Was it? Yeah,
Sponsor
us.
Please
Give us money.
I'm a rewards member, damn it.
I am. I signed up to it too. The guy, I'm like, you know what? Fuck yeah. Once more.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, Barnes and Noble. They were a publicly traded company from 93, 2019. 2019, the Elliott Management Group or whatever purchased the company and took it private. So it's currently a private company. It's not a
franchise.
Publicly traded company.
Okay.
It's still a franchise, but I mean, I don't know if that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, Elliot, whoever, for keeping bookstores alive. I don't know if you're evil or not, but I appreciate Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Yes.
Don't fuck this up.
Yeah.
Bring back Borders.
That's a whole different thing. We're gonna. What happened to Borders? I don't know. Okay, we're gonna put on the Jurassic World Rebirth trailer. This is the first time we're doing a reaction on the show, so bear with us. You could start. We're gonna start it right now.
Is it picture in picture? Can they see it?
No.
Okay.
We're just reacting to it,
gotcha.
and then in post, we're gonna turn it into a clip. Okay. Hey guys, like and subscribe. We're gonna watch the Jurassic World Rebirth trailer here. If you like our reaction to this shit, subscribe or whatever, or hit that bell icon. I gotta do more of that. Okay, Jurassic World. We're watching the trailer. We're doing it live. Oh, Scarlett Johansson. Fantastic. Look at that tail.
The dinosaur.
Whoa, what?
That was funny.
I can guarantee your safety. I mean, more or less. More or less?
More or less. Oh man, I love it.
Yeah.
That guy should have been Blade.
Yeah.
Hey, only one blade.
Oh, there's only one blade, baby.
And there always will be.
Are they going to Isla Nublar?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It was a research. The research. Okay, so
those guys look the same. Just one's wearing glasses and the one's not.
Yeah,
those are the same. That's the same guy twice.
He's pulling an Army Hammer in the Social Network. And it's the same dude. Oh, we got some sort of dinosaur that I'm only going to refer to as a pteranodon because I don't know.
That's fair. I don't know.
Yeah, flying dinosaur.
Pterodactyl.
Pteranodon.
Petrie from.
This is come on. We're here for the Raptors. Give us the Raptors.
Give us the Raptors. They better have feathers.
No, I don't want a feathered raptor. What the fuck was that?
Did you see it?
Oh, don't know. Go back.
Was that? Hold on. Was that like the thing from? Oh, look at the Dilophosaurus, T-Rex. What is that?
I'll tell you after.
Is that like a human dinosaur hybrid? Oh, whoa! Is it? They're helping the mosasaur.
Historically accurate Spinosaurus. Fucking finally.
Okay.
That's cool. Dang, that mosasaur's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like, like my kid turned me on the mosasaurus. He just like got super obsessed with it for a minute. I'm like, you know what? That is the coolest dinosaur, man.
Dude, my nephew too. Like he had like a big old mosasaurus. You do too.
We
I
have
have it.
to preserve it because it's so okay. So that was Jurassic.
Wait, what I miss?
There's like a human dinosaur hybrid looking thing.
So that was there was like a rumor a while ago that they were gonna do a horror-esque type of human hybrid dinosaurs, and that was gonna be the entire movie. And fans were like, just give us the damn dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
They just want dinosaurs, and they did, and they scrapped it. And that whatever the last Chris Pratt movie was, that's what they made. But they're bringing it back. Someone released the concept art. I gotta go find it. They're calling it the D-Rex. But it's like, I shit you.
The what? What's that popcorn bucket gonna be like? They're calling it the D-Rex? The D-Rex.
I don't know what it stands for, all right? And
The dick.
We know what it stands for.
What?
Clearly.
What? What?
God.
would you prefer it was the P-Rex?
I don't know what I prefer. I don't like any
The
of
D-Rex is hilarious.
it.
That's wild. They're wild for that.
Who's calling it the D-Rex?
Someone posted it online. I don't know, man.
Oh man.
But okay, that looks like every action movie I've ever seen.
Yeah. So the idea is that it's supposed to be someone saying it's like a failed cloned T-Rex because the idea was, I guess, in like, I don't know if it's how true this is, like in the original novel, that they were just using dinosaur DNA to help clone humans, but they just turned out.
Yeah, that's what did you just say that?
Yeah.
The newer trilogy is about them cloning a human. And
yeah,
that's what the girl is, right?
So this is like a failed clone T-Rex. So it has like arms, but it has like these little tiny arms like on its chest. So it's 4 arms, and it looks like a monster. I don't know, dude.
I'm in. All right.
I'm gonna watch
I'm
it.
gonna
Yeah.
watch it. Just fucking. All right. I'm down.
If you give me like a historically accurate Spinosaurus, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Those things were huge.
I mean, Scarlett Johansson and I want to.
Who's in it? Who's the main actress? Who is it again?
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
In a white
you
tank
said it
top.
30 times.
Scarlett Johansson in a white tank top, sweaty. The coast of Costa Rica or whatever it is. Yeah, that's dope.
I'm looking it up now.
Sign me up, fam. I know I'm in for any of the Jurassic Park movies. I
only saw one of the Chris Pratt ones.
Which one? The first one?
The first one.
That's all you need to see.
Yeah, they got really boring.
Yeah. Except that guy running with margaritas. Which one is that? Is that the second one or is that the first one?
That's actually what's his name? The one that passed away.
Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah, that's Jimmy Buffett.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
That's really him.
That's Mr. Margaritaville himself.
He wanted they asked him and he was like, yeah, I want to run with 2 margaritas in my hand.
I never knew that.
That was also shot at that whole thing was shot at Jazzland in New Orleans East.
Oh.
Which is basically it was a Six Flags theme park in the early 2000s.
Oh.
That was basically eventually just abandoned after Katrina, and it's like a creepy, just abandoned amusement park in the middle of New Orleans East. And then during like the boom there for a minute when they were filming a lot of stuff there before they fucked themselves up with the taxes, that was a really cool filming location because you're like, oh, you have basically a full amusement park that you can. Some of it was green screened, obviously, but yeah,
that's cool.
That's at Jazzland in New Orleans.
Nice.
So cool. So did we learn that we enjoy Scarlett Johansson in?
Oh my god,
you got a problem.
Oh.
You got a real problem.
Oh, real quick, where did it go? I just had it. So I'm gonna need TJ, Tommy Josh,
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson. No, the the person that made the decision to do the Darth Vader hallway scene in Rogue One is doing this movie.
Like the director?
Yeah.
For Rogue One?
I think so.
He's the director for new Jurassic Park movie.
Yeah.
Who is that director?
I'm trying to find. I just literally had it. Everyone's posting about the mutant dinosaur. So.
Gareth Edwards.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, look.
That was a badass scene.
Do I have to repeat once more what I'm in for?
Dinosaurs. Yep, we know.
Scarlett Johansson.
I'm in. Cool. Should we move on to news and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're not journalists, but I may take a journalism class later on this year. But we do keep our ears to the nerdy streets of the World Wide Web. Sometimes we read articles. Most of the times we read headlines. Pretty much always just the headlines. No, this is news and stuff. We got some good, cool, finally some good news. Man. All right. Firstly, it's like finally.
What
man.
good news.
Toxic Avenger is finally getting released. It was purchased by, hold on, I'm sorry, I have to bring up the article now. I want to say Cineverse sets Toxic Avenger and release date. Toxic Avenger starring Peter Dinklage, Elijah Wood. Who else is in it? It's a reboot of the 1980s trauma film, the dark cult classic. That is basically about a superhero. It was kind of commentary on, pollution and all these different things. And you get a really great monster-y hero out of it. And I want to say Cineverse is also the company that produced Terrifier 3. And basically they made this deal with Legendary Entertainment to finally give us a release date that I do not have. Let's see, release date for Toxic Avenger. I'm really excited about this, though. I met Lloyd Kaufman like 2 years ago at Comic-Con. I want to say he's there every year, but I met him like 2 years ago. So September 21st, 2023 is the official release date of Toxic Avenger. And he was talking about how it's a reimagining, but it's really dope.
That was when it was supposed to come out?
It's been made for this movie has been made for 3 years.
But it's
4 years.
2025.
Yeah.
When is it actually coming out?
Oh, sorry. That's when it was supposed to come out. You're right.
Pablo doesn't even know what year it is.
That's
They
right.
keep saying 2023. This is just, I don't know. Maybe 2025. Look, let's see. Fangoria. Come on, give it to me, Fangoria.
I saw in the
Hitting
first
theaters August 29th of this year. Thank you, Fangoria.com. So it premiered 2 years ago at Fantastic Fest. And basically just kind of been on the shelf looking for distribution. But apparently it's going to get a wide release on August 29th, right around my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Peter Dinklage, Kevin Bacon, Elijah Woods, Jacob Tremblay, Julia Davis, and Taylor Page in Blair's reimagining of the 1984 trauma classic that follows the downtrodden janitor Winston Goose, Peter Dinklage, who after a freak accident transforms into the mutant vigilante known as Toxie.
Great name.
Toxie, baby. Are you guys not excited about the?
I am.
Like, all right, cool.
No, I'm excited.
You're not excited about this? Are you not a Toxic Avenger? Trauma? Ty? Anybody?
I
Tommy Jeff
just
were here.
said.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Tommy Jeff were here.
Out of the four of us, you
David were here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dave-
There you go.
No, I'm excited.
I'm excited to see it. I just didn't read all the books.
Yeah, same.
No, there were movies.
And
then there was a short-lived Toxic Avenger cartoon show.
There wasn't a book. I had customers ask.
Yeah, there was. They've released a bunch. There's
that's what I knew
one.
it from. I didn't know it was a show. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I just knew it was pop culture. I know there was a Funko Pop that David got you.
Right.
So Trauma was kind of they produced B-level, and I don't say this in an insulting way. I mean,
No, of course not.
maybe even C-level.
Oh,
Sometimes D-level horror movies, but they were making stuff. They were pushing a bunch of stuff.
Those
out.
are the fun ones. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But they were doing it. Yeah, for apparently 50 years in business now, basically.
Nice.
And if you can go to their website, by the way, if you just go to trauma.com, they're still making stuff. They have a pretty expansive film catalog, and their claim to fame though was the Toxic Avenger, who I guess in the 80s, I think was when it came out. But I was a child in the 90s, and I remember the cartoon show.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Was the big thing for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Toxic Avenger. We gotta track down
VHS.
VHS
Yeah.
Hero.
Yeah, dude.
See if they have some Toxic Avenger cartoons.
Yeah.
Check out Troma's website though, troma.com. Troma. Exactly how it sounds. Well, since you guys aren't excited about that news,
I am excited.
all right. Diddy, you may be excited about this next bit of news.
Let's see. Let's hear it.
Buffy the Vampire
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
is-
That was my news.
oh, is it? It was getting a reboot.
Yep.
Wait.
I am excited. Tell them about it.
Hold on, I have notes. I don't know what happened to any of my notes. They're all gone. I think I
Yeah.
accidentally closed them all out somehow.
Open your notes app. Let's see that weird poetry
Yeah.
mixed in with doctor's appointments and
No,
notes
you
about-
don't want to see. All right, let's go from the Hollywood Reporter here. Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot with Sarah Michelle Gellar in the works at Hulu. The actress would recur on the potential series, but not as the central focus. Hulu is developing a follow-up to the cult favorite series with original star Sarah Michelle Gellar attached. The new project comes from writer Nora and Lilia Zuckerman, Poker Face, Fringe, and 20th Television. 20th, I'm assuming that's like Disney, or is that
20th.
Yeah.
Is that
television?
Fox?
Yeah, that's Fox. That was
Yeah,
Fox.
Fox.
So Disney owns.
To Disney. No.
Okay? And it's just so Disney's developing this, but I guess what it's 20th, like now their new Touchstone or something.
So they don't call themselves 20th Century Fox. They're just 20th Century
Studios.
So 20th,
Hmm.
yeah, studios, whatever.
So still under the Disney umbrella. Okay.
Yeah.
And is described as the next chapter of the Buffyverse.
So you saw what people were saying, right?
What are people saying?
Because Disney owns now owns Buffy.
Yeah, they do.
She's a Disney princess.
Buffy is a Disney princess.
Oh, yeah.
She is. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. Also, like, kind of leave it alone. But I read all the comic books after the show ended, so it's kind of kept going for me in a way.
Nice.
But I don't know. The actual show with like Joss Whedon ended it. He ended it so bad. I think, like in my opinion, like I was so
I
pissed
think-
that last season.
A lot of stuff in general ended bad for Joss
Whedon.
Whedon.
Well, yes. But that last season that he did of Buffy, I was like, this is bullshit. I was so mad. But yeah, if they come back, but just like I was talking to Emily, cousin Emily before, and she's
Mhm.
like, yeah, I'll only do it if Spike and Buffy are in game. And I was like, hard agree.
Hmm.
That's my thoughts on it.
What's crazy is that the Dark Horse Presents comic from 1998, yeah, that her first appearance like skyrocketed in price once
Yeah.
that news
Mhm.
dropped.
Oh, once the news dropped.
Once the news dropped,
I remember those comics in general had some hefty value. The Buffy fans were
Oh, yeah.
they were hardcore.
Yeah.
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 I mean, if you go on eBay, you can get a cheap copy for like $50. But like, to your point, yeah,
I
there's
don't want
always
the cheap copy. I want the
there you get a
very
9.6.
fine Buffy.
You get a 9.6
Yeah.
for 155.
That's crazy. I mean, that comic, that fan base, I guess is.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I guess it's not that crazy. What am I talking about?
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen Buffy in bits and pieces. I was never that big of a fan. I know about the
Monster
fandom.
of the Week?
Yeah, they created that formula, the Monster Week formula.
That's
still,
not your favorite, though.
It's not my favorite formula. I've said that before, and so I didn't want to. I was trying to avoid it.
Let's get into it.
I don't care about it.
Why are we here?
Why are we here? For deeper issues.
No, you're right.
About shallow things.
Yeah, it was never. I liked a lot of the concepts that came from it. And there was like a lot of really cool monsters. There was like the Gentleman. There's like a bunch of
Yeah.
cool things, right?
Gentleman was really cool.
But-
That's why I like Doctor Who too. It's a very Monster of the Week kind of thing.
It is. I don't love that formula all the time. It gets old quick.
It's never old. Keeps going.
It gets old quick,
There's a monster every week.
and then there's
It's
a big
never
bad
old.
every season. Yeah.
Yeah, big bad.
Yeah, some cool. I'm a fan of the '90s movie with Paul Rubens.
Don't
and-
piss me off.
That movie's great, and I feel like most of the Buffy fans that I do talk to about that movie, they're like, they react that way. They're like,
I'm fine. I'm like, I like it a lot. I watched it. I like it.
The
But
death scene
Buffy,
with Paul Rubens is like, come on. There's a bunch of funny gags in
yeah,
this.
no, it's fun and it's funny and it's good, but the show is so much more than that. So
I
the
thought
show's perfect, except for a few things that Joss Whedon does that are like, ugh, why'd you do that?
young Luke Perry with a soul patch in that movie.
Yeah,
Soul patched Luke Perry. Come on,
it's very good.
whatever.
It's fine.
This week we talked about this a little bit last week, but I just wanted to revisit it. I know we talked about the Gremlins 3 movie, but apparently Christopher Columbus, this is, I guess, an interview with Collider when he was talking about doing the film, how he has the script done and everything, producing it, that he doesn't want to use CGI.
Cool.
Yeah. Nice.
I like
no
that.
CGI allowed.
Get it out of here.
Yeah. Get it out of here. That was just a
I like
quick,
the sound of that. That sounds good.
what, puppets?
Yeah.
Gremlins puppets?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
No
But-
CGI.
Yeah. No,
Wait, hold on. We're gonna talk about CGI for a second.
we're
We're
gonna
talking
come
about
back.
Gladiator 2 for a second.
we're gonna talk about that, but no CGI. We will talk about Gladiator. We saw a movie.
Is it bad? I haven't seen it.
It's so bad.
Oh,
It's nominated for Oscars.
Hopefully,
I don't
Gremlins
even
3 won't be bad. Mathew Lillard is returning for
Yes.
Scream 7.
This was also
Dude.
my news.
This is from Variety. Quoting Variety, Matthew Lillard still likes scary movies. The actor who starred in Wes Craven's original Scream and did not return for the future entries, considering, well, narrative events, is joining the cast of the franchise of the upcoming 7th installment. Somebody pulled out of this movie, right?
Huh?
Like one of the
Yes.
stars left.
The
Oh,
Jenna and the other girl.
Jenna Ortega and Melissa. Oh, I forget her name.
Why?
Yeah.
Why did they pull out? Was there controversy with
There
it?
was
Yeah.
controversy.
What was
I
the
can't remember.
controversy?
It's over Palestine.
Yes, that's what it was.
So it kind of sucks that they're all going back. That because like Nev
She-
Campbell was like, yeah, I stand in solidarity with them too. And then they offered her a ton of money, and she's like, never mind, don't care about any of that.
Gotta
But-
secure the bag, brother.
Matthew
I don't-
Lillard has always maintained that his character never died, and that
He did.
he's always said that.
I hope that's the kid, because they brought like old Skeet Ehrlich back as like Billy Loomis, but he's like just like a reflection and just
Oh.
like a ghost. Have you not seen
I
the
have
new one?
not seen the new ones. I haven't seen the new ones.
Oh,
I think honestly, I've only seen the first and second one. Maybe.
of Scream. This
Mhm.
it's like my favorite slasher.
I
franchise.
love the franchise. I guess I just never like watched them all. But he's always maintained that his character never died. He also said that because he was just the bad guy in Five Nights at Freddy's,
Uh-huh.
and he says that he thinks, and it's like his conspiracy theory, that's Stu, and he like fled and went to a different town, and then like
You
became
know,
the proprietor of-
we saw Matthew Lillard at FanX.
We
He
did.
reunited with the entire Scream cast, but this was amidst the WGA strike.
Oh,
Yeah.
And they're like, we can't talk about any upcoming projects, and like exactly that. Like it's just like, well, what the fuck are
cool.
we gonna-
Nice
yeah.
to see you.
Yeah. Well, wasn't he the one that was like, fuck it, I'll talk about
He
Scream?
did, but he talked
didn't
about Scream. He did,
in
but
the
he
past.
but he didn't talk about like up
New
and
stuff.
coming projects.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because he didn't really talk about Five Nights at Freddy's.
Nope.
And he really didn't talk. Yeah, he didn't talk about any. He just kind of talked. He talked about SLC Punk.
He did.
Yeah,
He did.
he's cool. I like him.
He
He's
was
a big nerd.
fantastic with all of his fans.
He's so
Yeah, he's-
He
so
was
sweet.
so awesome. He
We love him.
him. Yeah.
Also, Shaggy. He's Shaggy.
Oh yeah.
he's Shaggy. He's also the dude in 13th Ghost.
Oh
One of my
yeah,
favorite.
I love that
Right.
movie.
Love that movie. I love him in 13th Ghost.
Yeah, he's
too.
really good in that.
Great guy.
And SLC Punk.
I'm excited.
I
He's
love
come, there's like a slew of people coming back for this Scream movie. Not just that. I mean, it's not just people coming back, but they're like, it's a pretty studded cast here.
Did
With
you
no
see that
Jenna.
thing? But they were like criticizing, like it was just stupid because they were like, oh, for the new Superman movie, they had James Gunn, creator of the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, and someone in the comments was like, it's kind of wild that you're advertising a Marvel movie for a DC movie, and then someone's response was, what did you want him to say?
Yeah.
But The creator of the Scooby Dooverse.
Yes.
Yes, that would. I'm like, damn, that's actually kind of badass.
Yeah, dude.
Those movies are great.
Those movies were great.
Fucking Scrappy.
Scrappy Doo.
Scrappy Doo, dude.
The second one, right? Written by
Also,
James
Buffy's
Gunn.
in it.
Oh, that's right.
She's not
Sarah-
Buffy. She's Daphne in that, though.
Yeah.
Really good Daphne.
Sarah, yeah, she's a great Daphne. And Freddie Prinze Jr.'s in it.
Dude,
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Freddie Prinze Jr., dude. Fred.
Freddie Prinze Jr. is like low-key the ultimate nerd. Like
He's a super nerd
I
too.
envy him. He's done like all the cool shit that I probably would ever. He was like a writer for WWE.
He's been
He's
to
like,
have you
Skywalker Ranch.
seen-
Yeah, he
Yeah,
freaking learned from
he's-
Dave Filoni.
He's fucking Kanan.
Yeah, he's a super nerd about Star Wars. But hey, have you guys seen that interview clip where like Sarah Michelle Gellar's just like the intricacies of like Scooby Doo and just talking about how serious and like how she took it as an actor, and then it cuts to him and he's like, I mean, it's a talking dog. It's so
That's such a
fucking
great
funny.
interview.
I think about that interview all the time. It's so funny.
He's so unserious. It's a talking dog.
I mean, it's a talking dog. It's like, what else do you want to hear? So funny.
You know why
Oh,
you're here to see
shit.
this movie.
Yeah. I love that shit.
Here for
That's
the
so
talking dog.
funny.
It doesn't just. It's like Scooby doesn't just talk. He talks like you want a dog to talk.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, exactly.
You don't want your dog to like
Yes.
fucking have a British accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to be like,
Ruh-roh.
yeah. Exactly.
Raggy?
Yeah.
That's a good impression.
Oh, thank you.
Kyle.
Cats are different. Cats, I do want to speak properly.
They all have British accents, probably.
They're too proper.
Mhm.
They talk like the cats and cats.
God damn it! Don't get him started.
See, I'm thinking like Tom and Jerry, like the other cats that would talk except for Tom.
Because Tom's just an
Yeah.
idiot.
They were all like late 50s Brooklyn thugs.
Yeah.
They got the hats and everything. Hey Tom, you want me to take care of him? And I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah. How did we get here? Okay.
Talking dogs.
Biggest this should be with oh yeah, talking dogs.
Talking dogs and dinosaurs. That's the name of this episode.
Talking dogs. And Scarlett Johansson. Talking dogs, dinosaurs, and Scarlett Johansson.
Tommy Jeff's in the chat.
Tommy
Hey.
Jeff, Cosmo in the are we doing WonderCon? Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna be there whether we're like I applied for press for WonderCon and Comic-Con. Also approaching Comic-Con about some potential stuff.
Nice.
Which I don't know. We'll just keep our fingers crossed and put it in the ether that it's gonna happen, and then I'll just be able to announce super cool shit on the show in the near future. But even if none of that pans through, I'm just gonna go. Because
Yeah,
I'll
just
go.
WonderCon, baby. And
Yeah.
because it's 4 miles from my house. I live
Yeah,
4
it's
miles
really
close
close.
to here. So we should do like a WonderCon special. Get Cosmo in here finally.
Yeah.
And yeah. Chop it up.
Chop it up.
When is that?
March.
uh,
March? Here, I'll look
Yeah,
it
you better
up. Get that
be-
PTO
Oscar?
in.
you better be off. You better get
Paid
that
time off?
PTO.
What do you think I do? That doesn't exist.
Get the whole weekend off at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bartenders in LA, they're trying to keep them through the fires. All right. This was probably the biggest bit of news aside from the Jurassic Rebirth. Is that really what the name of it is? Am I saying the right thing? Jurassic Park
Yeah, I
Rebirth?
want to say so. Yeah, end of March.
Okay, cool.
Rebirth, yes.
Is it really called Rebirth? All right. That's so silly. All right. We got a trailer for the Fantastic Four at last. And very comic book accurate
Oh, dude.
looking film.
Kirby.
Very retro futuristic. Yeah, like 60s Jack Kirby, Stan Lee. This is like, it's a good year to be a fan of Silver Age comics.
Oh yeah.
Between what looks like James Gunn's doing with Superman, this Fantastic Four film. Yeah, we're gonna get a lot of comic accurate Silver Age awesomeness.
Oh, dude, I'm so stoked.
And this trailer looked so fun.
It looks
I didn't watch it,
No,
but I did study the poster because they say it was created with AI,
Okay,
and I
so
was like
that's-
trying to find it.
that's that's the next point. So, Marvel released this series of images that accompanied with the whole atomic age retro futuristic looking like excitement that these children of the 60s would have during a moment of American prosperity, obviously taking place in a different world. And then I'll tell you, this is probably one of the biggest things instead that. So just to claim, right, a lot of people started saying, hey, why the fuck is Marvel using AI in their images? And some of the, Ty pulled some really hilarious comments.
Those comments are really funny.
Yeah. Some people just being like, this has to be AI. Maybe we don't use an AI because we can count fingers.
Got a point.
This looks like AI, very disappointing. Marvel, you make billions and you can't pay someone a wage to make these posters.
Period.
Yeah, these are not funny comments, actually. These are angry comments. But this is the biggest thing that stood out to me most in question. As we all know, AI apparently can't get people's hands right. This is how we know we're real. Look at that. You see those hands? Those are human, baby.
Wait, you don't get.
Look
You got to pay to see this.
Yeah.
Paul's just giving it out for free.
Sorry.
Patreon.
That's right. Yeah, this Marvel says, they're like, people are like, hey, you guys are using AI, and they're like, nah, fam.
Because who holds it? Look how he's holding it. All of them are holding it like this.
Quoting, yeah, there's a bunch, and then like if you look at all the people in the background,
anything like that.
they're like, what it is they're lapsed in a certain way. And Ty was saying, what would you say? It's like, imagine being the Photoshopper on this.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
In the comments,
Wait,
like,
what's this?
someone was like, imagine making a poster for finally getting your big break, making a poster for Marvel, and everyone's calling your work AI, but you're just really shitty at Photoshop.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of weirdness. Some people are saying there's Easter eggs that this is the guy from Marvels who is the photographer in the Alex Ross Marvels thing. So Marvel Studios didn't use AI to make the new poster for an upcoming big July release. The Fantastic Four First Steps is the name of the article. A rep from Marvel Studios tells Deadline that AI wasn't used. There was speculation online that the comic book powerhouse used AI to make the posters, given that two women had the same face and some people are shown with only 4 fingers in one shot.
And then the boxcar photo, I should point it out.
Yeah, there's the boxcar. These look, they all do look AI.
Yeah, they do. I don't know how they're going to deny it. They're all AI.
They're like, oh, we didn't use it. I'm like, okay, then drop the artist name. Let's see their
drop
work.
the artist.
Yeah, in the rest of the article, they'll go on. You'll remember that Marvel Studios did, in fact, use AI to create the opening of its Disney Plus series Secret Invasion, as it fit the series' shape-shifting plot. The show follows, whatever, who cares? You don't need to know who it follows. But yeah, the trailer dropped, these promotional images dropped, and yeah, look, come on. Come on, Marvel. Somebody, I can't remember somebody was like, hey, I want AI to do my laundry and stuff, so I have more time to do art, not do my art, so I have more time to do laundry or something.
Yes.
So
exactly.
And here's the other thing is I'm not anti-AI. I don't know if this is gonna get me.
I use ChatGPT.
I use the shit out of ChatGPT sometimes.
But I'm not. But the difference is we're not using it for art. We're using it to be productive. Emails, like shit that's not gonna matter.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that's a perfect point. Like, people are using it to replace artists. It's because we live in a capitalist country. Like, they don't want to pay artists, and it should be alleviating some of the stuff that we could do to function as people.
Correct.
Normal, living humans instead of
Yeah. Olivia could Photoshop you some fucking Fantastic Four stills right now that are not
right
AI.
now.
Yeah, right.
Using a little bit of AI, but then touching it back up.
Yeah.
But you should pay her to do that. You should pay the artist to use the AI.
Yeah. I've never used AI. I don't know what you're on about.
No, I
if you have an iPhone, you can do it.
Late Night with the Devil got the flack for that. And
at
the
that
time,
was done
before the strike.
What's crazy about AI is that it's come insanely far within a year and a half.
Yeah, it's scary.
Right? And the filmmakers of Late Night with the Devil, they're like, we thought we were being creative indie filmmakers at the time, because they are a low budget film, right? And they're like, we're just doing some things to hopefully just help with the constrained budget that we have in order to create the film that we want to create. I was like, I understand that. Like, there's some artists that I think AI is a great tool. My friend Andy did like a proof of concept for a script he's working on. He was able to put together like a trailer with AI to add to like the pitch.
Yeah.
That's cool. But yeah, a company like Disney should not be using AI.
Yeah.
And you're already doing so much crappy things. There's even like the Ed Brubaker talking about how he basically reinvented Bucky Barnes to be the Winter Soldier. So Ed Brubaker kind of created that character, and he's like, I haven't seen any of that money from all this Winter Soldier stuff in this film. So, and then, you know, obviously Disney like fighting different estates because like some things were going back to the families versus so
some shady stuff.
Yeah, there were like, I think like Iron Man and Captain America, like the big three Marvels, were like going back to the estates, and they're like they're trying to like keep do the right thing, Disney. I don't know if you're gonna. I don't know, but
Probably.
The right thing is to hire an artist who's just going to use the AI and then fix it up himself.
Stop saying that.
I know. Damn.
Why am I going to stop saying it? Was something so bold yet so true? So true,
dude. I just on my phone, I typed in this little image playground it has. I typed in hands, and this is literally what it gave me.
Yeah, they don't know how to do hands.
AI hands, you just did.
Yeah, what is that playground thing?
You're 4, by the way, is your switcher thing.
Right.
Your number.
My bad.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I'm watching a delay. Never mind. That's weird.
Yeah,
that's a weird hand.
Creepy.
Yeah, I feel like it is clearly AI. But yes, that must suck if you are the artist. But yeah, why then? Tell me who the artist is. Who did it?
You did it. Yeah, give that artist credit.
Absolutely.
And maybe, you know, too little, too late. But you know, maybe that artist is like, hey, here's a fixed version, and then they can post it on their account. Then people can support that artist.
Because we're talking about Rob Liefeld couldn't draw feet.
Yeah.
Hey, I can't draw hands, but Rob Liefeld can. I think he learned to draw. He worked on the feet thing.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, we've seen it.
Here's the hand again in question. That's weird. That is. I think that is. Any more? And you guys want to shit on AI a little bit more? What are we gonna?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck AI.
Well, I just watched Gladiator 2.
Oh, okay.
And there's a scene in it.
Okay, hold on. All right. So I liked Gladiator 2. Let me just start by that. Okay, but go ahead, Diddy. You just watched it. What?
Listen, okay. You can't take a movie that is based in reality. It's like a movie from 2000, right? Done by Ridley Scott about reality, and then make it years later and have it revolve around that same plot. Like the plot is that, I mean, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it is in the same reality, right?
Yeah.
And then add all this weird, like crazy shit and make it like the Megalodon Part 2 with Jason Statham. You know what I mean? Like they filled the fucking Coliseum with water and had fucking CGI sharks swimming around and attacking people like they're piranhas. And then they had baboon / like lion creatures that were like eating people's whole heads off.
Like that.
Eating
baboons.
That wasn't a real baboon. That was a fake ass baboon. That's not how they look. And that's not how big they are. And it's not how big they are the entire scene that they do it, because their sizes keep changing and they're attacking someone, biting off their whole head in one scene. One scene have fur, one scene bald. And another scene, freaking Paul Mescal is like taking one down and holding it like it's a little baby. It's like, I'm sorry, that's the same one that just bit your whole friend's head off, but you're holding it now just in your arms like this, because it was twice the size of the man before. It's bad. You can't tell me it's good. That's bad. And like the shark thing, how fucking dumb. Like how dumb. And then you're going to turn around and try to be a serious film. You're trying to be a serious film, and it got nominated. It's been nominated for things. Like, it gave me no faith in humanity. We're all brain dead and have brain rot, and it's fucked up, and I hated it. Just so you know, that's what I think. That's fucking dumb. You guys can't we can't watch a serious film and without being entertained for 5 fucking seconds without like CGI monsters coming out. It's a different movie. It's fine. Make a different movie, but don't call it Gladiator 2.
Olivia
I gotta go.
Olivia was not entertained.
No, I was not entertained. Thumbs down.
Yeah, I think it did get nominated. Denzel got like what, best
Supporting actor.
Did he? I don't know.
Yeah, but let's talk about Monkey Man not being nominated for a single fucking thing. Not nominated for a single fucking thing, but Gladiator 2?
I never said that.
Monkey Man is a masterpiece.
I liked it, dude.
Not nominated for a single fucking thing. And Amelia Perez is nominated for every single category. And that script was AI generated. Fuck! God, I hate this place.
I think that movie got pulled from a lot of that.
No, it got nominated from every single category. Like every single category. And it sucks.
Yeah, there's so many memes about how everyone wants that movie to lose. And
it bought its way in.
Oh, 100%.
For sure.
100%.
And movies that don't even get considered.
It was written by a white man.
It's so annoying. So yeah, that's what I think.
I will say
it's a fun movie, Pablo. You can say it's a fun movie, but it didn't have to be Gladiator 2. And it's not based in reality because it's fucking bonkers.
The story, I thought it was ridiculous. Like, you're trying too hard to sequelize this by being it like, oh, you're Maximov's illegitimate son or whatever it may be. Cause of spoiler.
I didn't say that.
That's in the trailer.
Is it?
Yeah, like, oh, my father. And I'm like, oh, yeah, we know who your father
okay.
was.
Okay,
yeah.
So I think I love Ridley Scott. And I think they took like the Fast and the Furious route.
Yeah.
In Gladiator 2.
They quite literally jumped the shark.
Yeah, the filling of the Colosseum with water and releasing sharks into it was fucking bonkers. It was
like a cartoon. It was like a cartoon, and you're telling me that this is like a serious film and it got nominated for Oscars? Go fuck yourself.
I think they knew. I think they were just like,
let's go wild with it. Let's ruin the legacy of the first film.
People love Gladiator, but they want more gladiatoring.
That's so dumb.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's dumb.
Less animals, more.
And a Human Torch, or what's his name?
The rhino also keeps changing sizes. The perspective's all off. Like, at least if you're gonna do it like not crazy like that. It didn't feel like good.
I will tell you,
I laughed a lot.
The performances.
I watched Life of Brian afterwards.
I think were great. The performances were fine. I'm not gonna knock.
Right.
No, but I'm saying that you can't go in between serious performances and then that kind of stuff. You can't like bounce between those two things. Pick what movie you want to be and do that.
You can be serious and not be.
No, you can't base a movie in reality and then also have it be like all insane like that.
It was pretty insane.
Yeah, you can have you can do a serious like action movie where it's all like over the top, crazy CGI, fucking sharks in the Colosseum. Fine, do it. Have fun. That's great. Don't make it be a continuation of a movie that's completely grounded in reality. You know what I'm saying?
What's the Letterboxd? I want to read the
that would be funny.
So Letterboxd has a 3.3 rating.
Okay, for it.
Because I think the good parts are good. Ish.
If you Google it, it has a 2.9 out of 5.
Yeah.
That's a combination of all the reviews.
It's outrageous.
Really quick, some Letterboxd comments.
Who
would ever let two gingers rule Rome? Dang it, hold on. Why am I not? I just lost the comments here. I don't know what I did. I feel like I closed out a bunch of stuff. I was so prepared at the beginning of this. And then I lost all my popular reviews. There we go.
In the Coliseum, we all fam.
Society, yeah. Society's first downfall started when men stopped wearing skirts.
Amen, brother.
My favorite part was Paul Mescal's thighs.
Hey, he did good.
This is why men think about the Roman Empire daily.
It was like a man's fantasy. That's what it was. It's exactly what it was. I'm pissed.
How did the sharks get in there?
Let's make the Coliseum like watertight, guys.
Can't spell twinks without twins.
They were little Twinkie twins.
And then look, this was me. My favorite part is Denzel Washington. That's just a serious review. I feel the same way. That was my favorite part was for sure. And the sharks.
Glad he ate.
Am I right, guys?
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dude, I fucking love Letterboxd.
Me too.
Paul Mescal and Pedro Pascal fighting in mini skirts. What more could a girl want?
SNL, I think the SNL version was better.
I do too.
Yeah.
They did like a mix between Wicked and
Yeah.
and it was funny.
Yeah, it's
It was silly.
it was
Yeah.
It was silly. That's all I'm saying.
it was silly. It was silly as shit.
Like honestly.
I loved it. But I mean, I'm like, when I was watching it, I'm like, this is stupid. Like, I thought the same thing. I'm like, this is stupid. I'm like, the same thing. I'm like, this is silly. But I'm like, now I know why the people who are like, oh, you got to watch the Fast and the Furious movies. And I'm like, I'm not going to fucking watch the car racing.
Yeah, but none
I'm
of
not gonna
those were ever like good. And they were always kind of crazy like that.
I'm saying, but they took themselves seriously within like the first like
Correct.
4 where like they played it straight, and then they realized this is just let's just fucking put cars in space and do the most banana shit we can do. And I think that's the route that they went with this is like, well, we fought lions, we fought people. How about we throw some fucking sharks, some baboons?
Dude, Gladiator 3,
Look,
fucking aliens.
I mean,
Yeah.
for Christ's sakes, Jurassic Park is doing the D-Rex.
Gotta find
You
that
gotta
photo.
pull out the D-Rex. They're pulling the D-Rex out. All right. This is just how you got a freaking escalation. Like they say at the end of the Dark Knight, he's like,
No, it's so bad. It's dumb.
let's see how Den of Geeks is talking about it. Is that who talks about is the D-Rex? Compelling information on the D-Rex. I guess that's what Reddit is calling it.
Someone posted like concept art. I'm like, oh, where'd you get this? Maybe it was AI. Maybe someone drew it. But it literally said the D-Rex, and they had like a human for scale.
Oh yeah, so that's what I thought. I thought that just was it's a Rancor. That's why I couldn't.
It looks like
think
a
of
Rancor.
It
Right?
looks like a Rancor.
Yeah. Just give me a Rancor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, D-Rex. Whatever are we gonna do with you? That is, I guess, all the news and stuff. This is the part where we look. Oh wow, we got that. This next. We're moving to the next.
Sorry, I flew off the handle there, guys.
You went.
I'm calm now.
It's fine. You know what? Get your passions out, Diddy.
Today's haul.
Still adorable.
Very cute,
Today's haul. So I didn't do my normal routes because I did Barnes and Noble, and I did go to a comic shop though and picked up my regular things. Slim Week.
Yeah.
For number one comics.
Mm-hmm.
One of which, let's see if I have it pulled up. Sorry. Well, I'll tell you guys actually what my favorite. This is a second printing. This is what stood out to me as I walked the wall, though. Folks, this is Jim Henson Presents. Boom Studio, in partnership with the Jim Henson Company, announced today that Jim Henson Presents number one had sold out at the distributor level. So in this exciting new anthology filled with Brim and new tales set in the many worlds of Jim Henson, they released a second printing. I didn't even know about this book. Look at this cover, Diddy. Yeah, that's right. Look at that cover right there.
Let me have it.
This is
Hold it up, did he?
Come on.
Oh yeah.
Jim Henson anthology book set in the different worlds of Jim Henson from Boom Studios. Let's see. I want to give credit to everybody in here. Actually, you know what? Boom, do you have it on your readily available? No. Find this at your local comic shop though, because the two new covers are really awesome. So there's a story from Fraggle Rock. Beauty is in in the Pie of the Beholder, written by Shannon Waters, illustrated by Max Sarin, colors by Lisa Moore. There's one from Farscape World by Jill Tu, Caroline Borley, and Gloria Martinelli. Some from the Dark Crystal from Shannon McGuire and illustrated by Count Andra. It's all one word. And then there's like letters by Jim Campbell. So there's stories from Farscape, Fraggle Rock, and Dark Crystal. This second printing of the Jim Henson Presents is out there at your local comic shop. Pick this one up if you're a fan of all things Jim Henson, like I am. I see that look that you got going on. Yeah, you can have that one.
Yeah, thank you.
I know what's going on here.
Thank you.
I didn't pick this one up, and I thought I pulled a graphic for it, but I didn't. From Boom Studios came Bronze Faces.
Yes.
From celebrated Arthur Shobo and Schaff of New Masters. Draw from their Nigerian heritage for a heist of a lifetime. Eisner-winning illustrator joins them, Alexander Tefengi from The Good Asian.
Oh, nice.
Shobo and Schaff bring Bronze Faces to Boom Studios in 2025. Soho, London, estranged childhood friends Timmy, Sango, and Bonka reunite on the eve of the British Museum's historic purchase of the works of Timmy's father. Timmy has been invited as a guest of honor, but what the museum is heralding as a triumphant acquisition, the trio see as nothing short of a brazen cultural theft. Emboldened by a night of drinking and shared outrage, the friends concoct a scheme to steal back the seminal artwork themselves. But when the trio find themselves in possession of the Register, a document outlining dozens of colonial-era stolen artifacts, their sights turn even higher to the Benin bronzes. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm a terrible reader right now. The British Museum's cache of nearly 1,500 works of stolen art from the Kingdom of Benin. Really cool looking book from Boom Studios there. I want to once more give credit. If you guys go to Boom's website or just walk into your local comic shop, you can pick up that new book from Shobo and Schaff and Alexander Tefengi. I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. The book looks dope though. That dropped to #1 at your local comic shop. Issue 3, Tommy Jeff isn't here for this one because this was his favorite book of 2024. From Hannah Rose May and Vanessa Del Rey. Issue 3 of Exorcism at 1600. Whoa, what a relevant book that is. But yeah, check that out. Issue 3 dropped. Go back and check out our review on issue 1. So good. Also one of my favorite books of 2024. If you love something within the exorcism genre. I picked this up from Barnes & Noble. This is a Al Capone. I love stuff like this. It's like a biography, basically. Based on truth, lies, myths, and rumors, the story of the greatest gangster of all time, Al Capone, family man, community leader, industrious smuggler, and vicious killer. You decide. This is a really dope looking book from Black Panel Press. I will say this with Barnes & Noble. I noticed, and like I said, our comic shops will usually cater to their customer base. So if you start going into a comic shop regularly and they see you as a regular customer, they have the ability to order all these things. I do appreciate you supporting small businesses. So it just says story by S. Morali and P.F. Radis does the art. But this is very like, almost like, it reminds me of like Mad Cave Studios.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful looking graphic novel. And I love all kind of weird gangstery things. I don't know if you take a look at that. Did he? But yeah, Barnes & Noble carried small press stuff. So obviously doing good for the industry to keep a lot of these books that maybe aren't regularly on the shelves of local comic shops, but are still part of the medium. But definitely, like I said, walk into your local comic shop. That was a really dope book. That's it. It was a small haul. You guys got anything?
I really need to bring it in. Like actually, no, this month hasn't shipped yet, but a Silver Sprocket stuff.
How is that? What are you doing that again? You're like, it's A subscription
yeah,
that
it's a
they
subscrip-
ship it to you?
Yeah, so it's like $39.99 a month, and they give you more than that in value of books. I meant to bring because I wanted to show Diddy. There's a book called Sipping Season, and it's like different cocktails from different artists and like
That's
drinks.
fun.
Drinks that are inspired by different comics, and
Fun.
yeah, it's really cool. I think next month we're getting a comic, and it's like two-tone colors, something like that. I didn't get a chance to like look at the Instagram post, but. Yeah, I like supporting them. They have a lot. If you guys are in the Bay Area, they have a lot of like fun local shows inside their stores.
Yeah, they're fun. They're fun, folks. And they're doing very innovative. Are you rocking the pee pee poo poo hat right now?
I am actually. Yeah.
Look, if you look at Ty's hat, he is rocking one of our Eisner winning pee pee poo poo hat. But yeah, Silver Sprocket. If you're not in the Bay Area, so that memberships is what Ty has.
Mm-hmm.
You can just support them because they're. A lot of the creators like are in that shop pretty regularly, and they release some like zines and just like very interesting, like pushing the medium in a really cool way, and obviously really great expression. It's like during times of social, political turmoil and stuff, there's going to be a lot of badass art coming out of that. Yeah. And I definitely think over the next couple of years. We're probably going to see a really cool immersion of artists. If you want to see any kind of silver lining in this, and I'm sure a lot of it probably would come from the folks at Silver Sprocket. They're all about like representation of marginalized groups, activism, absolutely, and super awesome. You can go to their website. It's just silversprocket.net, and they have like a $5 thing that you can just support. Because you're donating directly to artists. Yeah. There is a digital subscription for $15 a month, and you can get all the books that they release through their press digitally. And it looks like right now, if you buy this, your next shipment would be on February 18th. So it looks like on the 18th is when they're dropping their next round of stuff. And then they have the print subscription, it's like $40, and they ship you. Do you still get the digital copies?
Yes, I do believe I still get the digital copies,
and then send you just like a box of cool stuff.
Of like really fun stuff. They even have their own like custom tape. So it says Silver Sprocket. It's got the pink goat on it. So it's like a white box with pink tape on it. It looks really badass. And yeah, they throw some stickers and like fun stuff in there, little art prints, and all that money goes to the local causes and the people that work at the store. Because again, like Pablo said, a lot of those artists are local. A lot of those artists work in the shop and support the shop. So they're trying to, they actually recently had a fundraiser to help, give their employees a livable wage. So
there you go.
Shout out to the folks.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. For giving people livable wages. I was just having a discussion with somebody about we're not going to go into that. What am I talking? Let's just keep moving on. This is not, I guess. So somewhat of our main event, we're going to talk about the book. We're going to talk about American Psycho here from Sumerian Comics, sorry. But in, I guess, reasoning, I guess I picked up the book was, I was like, oh, it's really cool if we kind of discussed a little bit of American Psycho being almost this very misunderstood film. And I was like, man, there's a lot of films like that are just adapted or adopted by, or just completely misunderstood and then adopted by groups incels. Incels, yeah, that just don't understand, I guess, some of these things being like morality tales or critiques on male, basically,
or flat out
culture,
satire,
or flat out like critiques on male behavior. And American Psycho definitely falls into one of those genres. So I wanted to kind of, let's just do the tinkly graphic again. Here's some misunderstood films for you. Firstly, dang it, hold on, I got to pull up the poster. Before we're going to dive into American Psycho, which is the one that I kind of did the most research on. But this is, I feel like, one of the, if not the most, I feel like, misinterpreted film. And it's a classic from Brian De Palma, written by Oliver Stone. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I learned that Scarface was written by Oliver Stone. Scarface, like I said, I had all this pulled up and I accidentally closed out all my tabs. Is it from 1983? Yeah, it's a 1983 film. The film basically follows a Cuban drug lord immigrant to become the biggest drug smuggler in Miami. So, for some perplexing reason, drug lord Tony Montana in this film has become idolized in certain circles. These individuals tend to like mentally block out the last 20 minutes of the movie, which the movie is basically the rise and fall of Tony Montana. The Sopranos is another one that we'll get in that. But it seems like so what I've come down to it is there's a handful of things. Like, firstly, Tony Montana doesn't give a shit about anybody in this movie. He kind of cares about his sister, but he ends up pretty much marginalizing her at the end. And I guess it's a combination of like there's like that badass line, right? The say hello to my little friend.
Yeah.
That's, iconic at this point. And it basically creates like an admiration for the character, but that's not really the point of that film. The last 20 minutes of the movie are basically him slipping into madness, and just a cocaine driven madness at that.
Yeah. Almost every single white guy I went to high school with in Idaho owned a Scarface sweatshirt and had that poster on their wall.
Yeah. I remember that was like a thing in high school. People would be like, and I'd even gotten that advice. Like,
and I don't think a lot of the times they've even seen the movie.
I don't think a lot so much of the movie is like up for him, right? I mean, the thing is that people are blinded by the performance, although Al Pacino is Italian playing a Cuban guy, but they're blinded by the intensity of the performance, basically. And yeah, it's supposed to be a dark comedy. Apparently what I read from it is that it's basically just like a take on, and exactly right, it's on greed, right? Like if you look at like a Deadly Sin here, Brian De Palma kind of talks about how it's a bit of a parody or a dark comedy, mirroring just like the greediness of Wall Street. But just like interpreting it through a drug lord and like the rise of that sort of thing. And that, American Psycho being about that toxic culture that is. Is that my cat?
I think that was your cat.
Fighting outside?
Cats, plural.
Talk about Scarface really quick. I want to check that my cat's not getting no fight. Oh no!
Is it drizzling outside too?
Get him in. Give me one of them.
Give me one of them.
The little one. My cat's always getting in fights.
Really?
Yeah.
See,
he's also a little psycho.
No, it's not the kid. It's not fighting the kid.
Fighting a possum?
another cat?
Possum.
No, that kitten's inside, y'all. Oh,
yeah.
You can hear me.
It could be a possum or a raccoon.
Who knows?
One of those little critters.
I had to rescue my cat, y'all. So
she's pissed.
She's pissed. She matches the Scarface poster. I just realized.
She does.
That. Sorry, I ran off camera. Was this just on your?
No, I switched it.
All right, I did. I was like, it's just on me now.
No, it was on me, but and you said talk about Scarface, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I was concerned about the cat.
Yeah, basically Tony so what there's a really cool kind of article I read. There's a writer named Lisa Marie Bowen talking about, and I'm gonna quote her on this. They miss the fact that Scarface is also an extremely dark comedy. It satirizes the excess of the 80s. Once Tony reaches the top of the underworld, he becomes a parody of the nouveau rich. Tony reached the top of his profession just to discover that it takes more than a live-in tiger and a wardrobe with wide lapel suits. I'm sorry, and a wardrobe with wide lapel suits, of wide lapelled suits. Sorry. It takes more than a live-in tiger and a wardrobe of wide lapelled suits to achieve true happiness. Mm-hmm. And exactly that. And
Michelle Pfeiffer.
And Michelle Pfeiffer is stunning in that movie. But clearly that character is not happy.
Yeah.
The outcome for him and this is what's weird about Scarface is a lot of people will talk about Scarface with this like hustler mentality. It's like,
Mhm,
oh,
that's what they think. They think
Yeah.
that he like rose to the top and now he can do all the cocaine and have all the money, and that's like the end of the story for them. And it's like, oh, I don't think you watched it.
Once more, I
Right.
blame it on the cool one-liners of
Mhm.
Oliver Stone's writing, because there's that line of like, first you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the women, right?
I try to tell you, but you don't listen.
Yeah.
Look at you now, you stupid fuck. That's my favorite part. So good. That's the best part. I quote that part to my dad all the time.
Yeah, it's extremely quotable, but the character's not happy.
Mm-mm.
And that even like, so if you're not talking about drug lord, but like that over workaholic mentality, although it buys you monetary success, doesn't buy you happiness or true success, right? Which is, I guess, the content of your character, what the legacy that you leave behind, the relationships that we create. Tony Montana is not a role model.
No.
No.
I have another one. I don't know if it's on your list or not.
Yeah,
though.
yeah, go for
through
it.
your list.
No, I
first.
mean, you can go. I mean,
Wolf of Wall Street.
yeah,
Yeah.
Belfour, right?
Yeah, Jordan Belfort.
Is not, yeah, he's
Not a good guy.
he's
In
not
that
a
movie,
good guy.
like when I watched that movie, I was like, I didn't like it. Like I did not like that movie. And I love Martin Scorsese, but I just thought like the lesson really didn't come into play. So for me, when I was watching it, I was like, it kind of feels like you're kind of glamorizing it in a way, like throughout the whole movie. And it's very funny. And I also think it's
is.
another like satire
It
take
is.
on things.
Absolutely.
It's definitely a satire, but
It's done for sure. Like, look, so many things can be traced back to where we're at today because of the excess insanity of the 80s.
yes, definitely. And it's like heavily inspired by American Psycho,
Yeah.
but it just wasn't over the top enough for me to be like, oh, that's like satire and that's that is like making fun of that, or that's like degrading that, like in the way it does American Psycho.
Mhm.
It was just like, no, all these things actually happened, and then people are like rooting for this guy and love this guy.
Yeah, he got big on TikTok.
Huge.
Like-
And people like really look up to him.
You, like-
I'm like, is that what we were trying to do with that movie? Like, I didn't get it.
No,
I
yeah.
didn't get it. So
You
I'm
fucked
one
a
of
lot
the
people out of a lot of money.
misunderstanding. Yeah,
and
not a
you-
good guy.
not a good guy. You did a bunch of debaucherous, awful shit and created extremely toxic culture.
Yeah. So when that movie came out, it was like the same kind of thing of people just idolizing that guy and being like Scarface. It felt like a new age Scarface.
But yeah, and then that's the interesting thing about it being a real character.
A real guy, and
is-
like still alive and like kind of like young still right now.
Yeah, well, it goes to show that like some people of you reach a certain like social stature or like a level of monetary gain or just like some sort of like wage that a lot of that dude should be put away for a long ass time, right?
Mhm.
But he's now still probably finding a lot of success and winning,
Mhm.
right? As still probably at the expense
That's
of
what's
other
annoying
people.
about it, because he's like a real guy and people watch the movie and they're like, it's so funny. And I was like, it is funny, but it's also serious. And this guy exists. And now he's idolized by a gang of young men who are young boys at the time. And now they're like men in our society. Like,
Yeah,
that's kind of scary.
it is scary. You're right. And you're right.
Didn't get it. They didn't get it.
No, they didn't get it. They just thought, oh my gosh, how fun it's got to be to have that much money. And
Yeah. And now that guy, like, I mean, he was ostracized before that movie came out, and now he's just like famous as ever. And he's like out there just being kind of the same guy he always was, and everybody fucking loves him.
yeah, it's still happening. It's like how fame basically allows people to get away with. I mean, look at freaking what's his name, old Tiger. I mean, he's in jail, Tiger King or whatever. It's like that dude got the craziest amount of fame, and it's like you guys, it's crazy. It's a crazy story.
Remember when that guy tried to run for president?
Yeah, well,
That was
you guys
wild.
being chimp crazy by the way.
No, I know you told me about it. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Wild.
You definitely have to watch Shim Crazy. If you
Do
like.
I? I don't know.
Absolutely. The next movie on my list, well, it was playing behind Ty, but it's like gone now. Or I don't know. Ty, pop that tape in. Pop that tape in, baby. This is the David Fincher classic. I'm guilty. I had this poster in my room, and as a young man, for sure, there was a lot of misinterpretation. Fight Club. Fight Club has become a quintessential guy flick, the male-centric film. I actually wrote this, but I'm just reading it like somebody else wrote it version of it. It's become the quintessential. I just need to learn how to like read my stuff and sound like I'm actually saying it, but I can only read it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a male-centric film whose posters are bound to decorate the student bedroom walls until forever. A lot of problems as the Wi-Fi Club is misinterpreted. It's basically it's the dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Like the movie is visually brilliant,
Mm-hmm.
and it does have a really compelling story, but it is basically about guys suffering from depression and clearly an intense mental disorder. I'm gonna
Schizophrenia.
yeah, schizophrenia. I'm going to quote Zach Scharf from Variety on this one. This is the poll I got from Variety. Fight Club has become a favorite amongst incels and far-right groups for depicting disenfranchised white men coming together to rally against capitalist society. The director distanced himself from such a topic, telling the publication, "I'm not responsible for how people interpret things. Language evolves, symbols evolve." The director, by the way, David Fincher, also went on to say, "It's impossible for me to imagine that people don't understand that Tyler Durden is a negative influence."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look, this is what's tough, especially like as we're having this conversation, is David Fincher's right. Symbols evolve, and they can turn into a negative thing. It's like Roman salutes can turn into negative things, and we should all be very aware of those sort of things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there was another article here from Rebecca Rayner that says the books that we read, The Great Gatsby, Death of a Salesman, sold us the dream that was broken, but it was Fight Club that showed us that the dream was a lie in the first place. Instead of
I like that.
Instead of consumeristic culture, MRA Fight Club fanboys want power, silent women, and wait for it, the American dream, just by another name. In other words, they're a bunch of rule followers trying to remake the world in the way that's always been told it should be. That's how they see themselves, right? As like the people following the rules, like I'm doing all the right things. As a, I don't know.
Why am I not being rewarded?
What's going on? That's a really cool article from LitHud, by the way. But yeah, that's exactly right. It's, I mean, we were watching it, right? But it's like when you look at it through those, I mean, look, fucking Brad Pitt's body fat percentage, insane. I get it. He creates a pretty cool character, but that's also part of like, don't be blinded by the.
Well, he's not real.
Yeah.
So it's
He's
like,
also not real.
Yeah.
that's the point.
Yeah, he's like the representation of the Edward Norton's character,
Right.
the
Yeah.
narrator, right? To be like what guys think is cool.
Mm-hmm. And that's not up for debate. Like that's literally what it was. Like in American Psycho, it's like, oh, did he do those things? Did he not do those things? That's just like a fun thing when you're talking about that story. But
Yeah.
I've heard people kind of bring that up with Fight Club, and I'm like, no, that's not ever in question. Like Tyler Durden's not real.
Well, in the book, he does do it. He ends up in actually, it's funny. Like in the Tyler Durden's not real. So the way that I
read the book by Chuck Palahniuk.
Yeah, the way I recall the book, which is funny too, because he also meets Tyler Durden on like a nudist beach or whatever, and he like setting up rocks to like, because when its sun hits it the right way, it makes like the shadow of a hand, and it's like this like philosophical discussion about how perfection can only last for a second. But the way I interpret it is that he was kind of always. But I guess not, because the comic is. I was like, oh, is he Tyler? Like if you saw his driver's license, it probably would say Tyler Durden.
Right.
But he
himself is.
Yeah.
Like he is Yeah, I mean the persona, like Brad Pitt's character,
Yeah,
is actually not
is not him. Yeah,
him, not real.
But there's
Like he looks like Edward Norton. You know, he's imagining this character.
he's imagining Tyler Durden being the Brad Pitt guy.
But he is Tyler Durden himself.
Yes, his like name would be Tyler Durden.
Yeah.
Right? It's look, like I said, it's a well-made film. Like the attention to detail. Fincher is probably one of the greatest directors of our era.
And to take that book and make it into a film is crazy because the book is so abstract. Like all of his books are so in your head. Like I didn't even know where he was going to start making the movie, and then he did it. He did the damn thing. It was so good, but very misunderstood by people. Extremely
misunderstood. Like I said, and like that's why I read the book, was because I saw the movie and I'm like, whoa, we're losing our manliness.
Is that your first thought when you watched that?
It's like, you're right, I am raised by women.
Yeah, I do have tits.
But I was, you know, yeah. No, but I was like, you know what I'm saying? You're like 14, 15, and of course it's easy for you to see, but it's like you have to eventually see that, like, oh, actually, this guy is not. Like, through those fresh eyes, this guy's not a good person. There's a quote, the writer Rebecca Renna actually pulled the quote from the book, which I loved, and it's from let me just get into it. I've met God across his long walnut desk with his diplomas hanging on the wall behind him, and God asks me, why? Why did I cause so much pain? Didn't I realize that each of us is a sacred, unique snowflake of special, unique specialness? Can't I see how we're all manifestations of love? I look at God behind his desk, take notes on a pad, but God's got this all wrong. We are not special. We're not crap or trash either. We just are. We just are. And what happens just happens. And God says, no, that's not right. Yeah, well, whatever. You can't teach God anything.
It's funny.
It is funny, but yeah, it's the movie is so much focusing on, hey, this is what masculinity should be, right? That I love this because it's saying, like, you know, we just are, and let's just be, and not focus on what we perceive masculinity to have to be, or femininity for that matter. You know what I'm saying? Like any of those kind of constructs. It's just be a person, and I don't know,
and a good one,
and a good person.
Yeah,
that's so hard.
If you can,
yeah, if you can, always do your best.
Mm-hmm.
That's key, right? We're not all perfect. We can always try to do our best. Yeah, it's a weird film. I actually have some of the Fight Club soap. Damn it, I don't have it here. But like I said, I was guilty. I liked it.
I think it's fine to like that movie.
Reasons.
It's an amazing
movie. No,
you know,
for the wrong reasons.
You're saying you liked it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, people, I understand it now. People change. I grew up, as it turns out. I became a husband and a father, and, you know, evolved as a human. And that's why it's so, the other thing about this discussion is like, hey, I'm not here to shame anybody that maybe does interpret these things, but maybe it's
I am.
But how you have the opportunity to rewatch it, hopefully with a fresh perspective. And like, look, I love The Sopranos. Sopranos is my Roman Empire, right? It is. I think about The Sopranos on a daily basis. I rewatch the series sometimes twice a year. I'm obsessed, but Tony Soprano is one of those characters. I haven't seen Peaky Blinders, but I'm sure the fucking dude from Peaky Blinders is awful too. Cillian Murphy's character.
Yeah, it's the same kind of deal.
Yeah, right. Tony Soprano is not a character that should be idolized. The Sopranos is a dark comedy, and there's funny moments. But what I love about David Chase, and this is why I think season 3 has some of the most interesting, compelling stuff, or even I think season 1 with the college episode. Yeah, Tony Soprano is like a family man. You know, he does all the things that you think a good father would do, taking care of his family, you know, trying to raise his kids, trying to do like the right thing. There's even like a quote in the show talking about, he's like, I don't think I'm going to go to hell because we're soldiers. Soldiers kill other soldiers in war, but soldiers, you know, don't go to hell for being soldiers. and that's how they consider themselves. And it's a play on morality and like being morally ambiguous. But Tony Soprano is evil. He is not a good person.
Mm-hmm.
He is not a good character. And it kind of even harkens back a little bit. There's another line from the My Friend Dahmer graphic novel where they talk about, it's like, hey, Jeffrey Dahmer was a monster. But don't empathize with Jeffrey Dahmer.
Mm-hmm.
Pity Jeffrey Dahmer, right? Because we can feel pity for people who are not, in their right mind, but don't empathize with them, because at the end of the day, he's a monster. And Tony Soprano, you shouldn't be seeing yourself in Tony, because the whole show is pretty much about toxic men not taking accountability. Every character on that show takes no accountability for anything. If you've noticed that theme throughout Sopranos, nobody on that show takes accountability for any of the shit that they do. They always fucking somehow blame it, like the entire series. But it's one of those things that
there's another show that I just thought of that I think is wildly misunderstood. Weeds. Did you guys watch Weeds?
I remember Weeds.
I didn't watch it. I remember it.
Yeah, just another thing of people being idolized, but it's about the her losing her morality.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
And just becoming a super bad person. And we're you're watching it, each episode, you just see her go down this path of losing everything about herself that makes her herself. And I think when people were watching it, they were like, "Oh, she's a weed dealer."
Did that come out before Breaking Bad?
Yeah,
because it's basically Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah, I never watched Breaking Bad, but
it's
the
Weeds.
same.
It's about
Weeds.
Somebody. Well, I think in Weeds, her husband dies.
Yeah, and she has to
sell
make
weed
money somehow.
Make money. Yeah, I think Breaking Bad is he's gonna die and he wants to leave his family with a good nest egg.
Yeah.
Right.
Holy shit! we just put this together in real time. Breaking Bad and Weeds are the same show, everybody. But weed is
I think everybody
weed in comparison to methamphetamine. Still just
but she gets dark. It gets darker than all that.
It does. It gets dark.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
And I think that people were
she starts banging a member of the cartel. And stuff like
it
that.
gets super dark and starts killing people. Yeah.
Yeah, look, y'all.
And I remember because I was watching when it was coming out each week, and I remember going to school and hearing people being like, "Oh, you see that episode?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, Nancy Botwin's fucking sucks," and they're like, "She's the best," and I'm like, "What? No, that's not what it's about. It's about her becoming terrible." This is not. What are you watching? I remember that specifically.
She's awesome.
Yeah, people were super into it.
Yeah, you're right. Weeds is it's totally about her losing a bunch of different things, losing herself completely, basically. Just does get darker and darker.
And she wants to make money for her family, but as the show progresses, that part doesn't matter to her at all anymore. But that's a lie she keeps telling to herself. But she keeps putting her family in more and more and more danger until they start becoming terrible people too. It's a very dark show.
It is a very dark show.
I kind of gave up on it actually too, because I was like, oh man, I can't watch this anymore. They all suck.
I sat it out. I watched it all the way through the end. It doesn't, not a strong ending. Hard.
Not
how many seasons was it?
It's a lot.
It's 7.
Yeah, it's 7 seasons.
Tommy
I guess
Jeff?
that's not that
Fuck!
Hey, hold on.
Where's Tommy Jeff over here? Oh man. Oh, D-Rex is still, man. D-Rex is going to be in my Google search history. So this brings us to our final discussion point here. The book that we were here to read. This is a different take. American Psycho definitely is one of those movies, right? That is, and I had to do I fell down a rabbit hole on this one because I do love American Psycho actually, and I feel like Christian Bale actually said it the best in one of the interviews. Because the guy interviewing was like, "What do you like the most about Patrick Bateman?" He's like, "What do I like?
Nothing.
What do I like the most about him?" He's like, "Yeah, what do you like the most about him?" He's like, "Well, nothing. He's not a likable character. What makes him entertaining is X, Y, and Z, right?" And he's like, "I wouldn't want to sit at a table and have dinner with him, but I would love to be at a table eavesdropping, across from him, kind of thing, right?" And currently live in a state where maybe we could find certain things entertainable, entertaining. I'm sorry, certain things about a person's character entertaining, because yes, they are, but it doesn't make an individual necessarily good or likable.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound like
something that's happening right now? Yeah.
Not likable, not good, but very entertaining.
I like how it looks when you see me. You don't know what I'm doing, but I'm petting a cat.
She's petting the cat. Yeah. I brought the cat in. This is why I ran off here. This is why we had a random break. I had to go run and rescue my cat. She gets in cat fights. She gets wild.
Yeah, she's a little badass.
Written by Bret Easton Ellis, American Psycho was initially considered unfilmable because of its extreme violence and graphic sexual content. The novel has sparked controversy since its release in 1991, yet producer Edward R. Pressman acquired the film rights a year later and was eager to have it adapted. Now, what's interesting about this is that the Genevieve Turner and director is it Heron? What's her name? I'm sorry. I'm drawing a blank. Director Mary Herron. I thought it was Mary. So Mary Herron wrote it with Genevieve Turner, and they even talk about how it was good that you had that, because once where there's a critique on male behavior, and it kind of neutralized, some of the things within the book, because it was considered to be misogynistic. But obviously Mary Herron and Genevieve Turner kind of recognized the theme of the book, and also recognized that it was, I think even like Bret Ellis was talking about how he's like, they brought out the fact that the book was a comedy. It doesn't always translate in text, right? Because you can read things there's like a Key and Peele sketch about them like texting each other, and somebody being like an aggressive reader of like how they text versus how somebody reads it.
Yeah.
Right. So of course, some of those
things don't translate.
Things maybe wouldn't translate because there's people that are talking about how the book was just darker. But
they really did a good job adapting it, and they did a really good job with the satire in the film.
Yeah, it is complete satire. And then what they even kind of, dang it, I fell off where I was gonna go. Oh, I'm sorry, the ending. They were talking about like the end, because you were saying, you're like, oh, they leave it ambiguous. Did he do it? Did he not do it? Right. And that's like the always thing is like, do you think it actually happened?
Yeah.
Right. Is the discussion usually when people talk about that film.
Yeah, but they don't ever talk about the other stuff. They just talk about if he did it or not.
And that's the problem.
And that's the whole thing too. It's like, that's all people care about, but no one is sitting there talking about like, oh, this is like a take on toxic masculinity and about capitalism and about the absurdity of it all. And, it's super interesting.
It is. That's what they're saying. They're like, that shouldn't be the discussion. Even Bret Easton Ellis was talking about. He's like,
guys,
I didn't write it.
Did he do it?
That's what they're saying. They're like, the ending really doesn't matter to that film.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But I don't. I think Mary Herron talked about that. She's like, I think he did do it.
No, okay, and I also
There's a lot of theories.
I went down a rabbit hole myself.
Okay.
And I saw these podcasters. I'm not sure of the name of their podcast or even who they are. Should have wrote that down maybe. But they were talking about how in it throughout the entire thing, nobody knows who like each other is, and they don't recognize each other. They don't pay like throughout the movie. He'll be mistaken for like the Jared Leto character.
Yeah, they all get mistaken for one another.
And they all don't.
Same asshole.
They all don't care like what the people that they're talking to every single day look like. They're just seeing themselves like projected back into themselves. So everybody's like, no, I had dinner with that guy last week, or I had dinner with him last night. I think is like the thing that is everyone's like, oh, he didn't do it,
Yeah.
But I do think this is what I think, actually. Okay. Having read the book and having seen the film and now reading this comic, but I didn't read much of the comic and they don't get into it to the point where I got to. But I think he did kill those people, but I do also think that he's having like a psychotic break
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's things that he does, like where he shoots the cop car and it explodes. And it's like, and he even looks at the gun like, why would that happen? I don't think that was real. And obviously, I don't think an ATM machine said, "Feed me a stray cat."
Oh yeah.
You know, I think
No.
that that's part of his psychosis, but I do think he's actually killing people.
Yeah.
And I don't think that any of the guys he works with fucking even know each other's names. So I think that's why they're like, no, that guy's alive. What?
Yeah. The other,
not like it matters.
but no, well, that's the other thing that a lot of people don't realize too. And yeah, that's good that you brought it up, because he's not meant to be a reliable narrator.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's narrating the entire thing basically. But yeah, he's not going to tell the truth, right? And that's why the Joker story, the Violator book that Mark and Draco's writing right now, he's like, usually those evil people will, if they're the narrator, are they the most trustworthy narrator?
Yeah.
Like, even think about like Goodfellas and stuff like that, how he narrates kind of certain things. Is like, is that person the most reliable narrator to tell the story,
right,
in the way that things actually played out? Or are they going to give you the best representation of themselves kind of thing, right? Yeah, that somebody also kind of like hearkened on Joker as well, being one of the, and I bet the problem with Joker is I don't think they did it right. I think all these other movies did satire a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't know, maybe it's just still grossly misunderstood film as well. But yeah, they were talking about how it revolves. It's basically the theme of it is corporate callousness.
Mm-hmm.
How somebody can start by doing one little thing, and that one little thing will escalate to another little thing as you want to steal another little thing or whatever it may be, until you become that awful, callous person. And I think, yeah, Christian Bale's right. I've sat at table with people like this. And it's like, I don't want to sit at a table with you. You're kind of awful.
Yeah.
Right. And like I said, there's people that you see in the world today that are represented that are awful. And you're entertaining because you make for great TV. And you make for great art and parody and things of that nature, but you're not necessarily a good person.
Yeah.
and that's definitely the thing with Patrick Bateman. Let me see. There's a quote here from Vulture. While American Psycho and similar movies like Joker and Fight Club critique masculine toxicity, it's plain they can inadvertently inspire the same antisocial elements in society. Sadly, it seems that American Psycho exploit Patrick Bateman's psychotic nihilism as endearing and by some incredibly lost individuals.
I like that.
As an aspiration rather than a warning, that they're just like, hold on. Sorry. I'm sorry. I should make this text bigger. I'm like over here squinting, trying to read. I can do that. That said, just like the controversy about Joker and Fight Club actually helped prop up these movies, the social criticisms do the same for American Psycho. There's a really interesting thing, and let's talk about the book. Let's get into our main event here. We need a ring bell. Bing, bing, bing. Close enough. Yeah,
fanfare.
Air horn. The book from Sumerian Comics is pretty interesting. Sorry, normally we have this. I can't show you any of the images from this comic. Unfortunately, I can show you some of the first starting images here. Our character kind of there's
variant covers.
So the book, the comic from Sumerian, I did enjoy. I don't know how it ties into those same themes because I haven't gotten through the whole thing. Follows a character that is Donald Kimball, who is, if you recall in American Psycho, he's not a detective. Everybody calls him Detective Kimball, but specifically in the book, even in the book or in the movie, he says he was hired by, dang it, I can't remember who said he was hired by. He said he was hired by somebody to investigate
the firm.
The disappearance of Paul Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's not like he may be a detective, but he's like getting paid to be this sort of detective. And what I loved about that performance,
he's a private dick.
He's just a private dick, but is he a private D-Rex? They filmed that two ways. They filmed it one where Willem Dafoe suspected Patrick Bateman's character heavily and knew he was the killer, and then they filmed it one where he had no clue and he was just happy-go-lucky and
talking to him normal.
Yeah, talking to him normal.
And they intercut it.
It's
so cool.
So, and I love it. Like, I went back and kind of studied those scenes because I'm like, oh, yeah, like I see when you kind of like study that a little bit more. And I don't know if that's also adding to the layers of that character's delusion.
Yeah.
Of his guilt, right? So well done.
So well done.
So, although Willem Dafoe's character only appears in 2 scenes, right? I'm pretty sure in that movie, what writer Michael Calero, and I want to say I followed him on Instagram, and I want to say he's maybe also the CEO of Sumerian, which is crazy. Cool, you're CEO. And Piotr Kowalski and Brad Simpson did here is that they created an alternate kind of background story for that character, and the events in this comic happen around what's happening with Patrick Bateman, as you see in the movie. So you kind of like relive the moments of the movie, but you're seeing it through an alternate perspective. And what's interesting, so he's eating breakfast, starts very American Psycho because Patrick Bateman starts with his like skincare routine.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like kind of a stark contrast here with this other character, which is Don Kimball. Sorry, I didn't get it. This is a hard book to find. Oh yeah, you got that one.
I have it. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I have, the first issue.
You have the second issue, I think.
Oh, this is the second?
That's the second issue. But you see a parallel within their lives of like Don Kimball almost is following Patrick Bateman. And here, I'll read this. It says, there's an idea that is Donald Kimball, a facade of a man, someone you look at and see through to an empty space you fill with whoever you want him to be. You find comfort in the abstraction, but if you only knew what was really underneath the surface. So this is like one of the few pages that I can show, I guess.
Yeah. He's following the girl.
Yeah, he is following the girl at first, right?
And then but he knows who Patrick Bateman is. Because once she runs into him, he's like, oh, not this asshole.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this fucking asshole.
But he is following the girl. He's like obsessed with her.
Yeah, he's exactly. And then the girl ends up being Bateman's first victim.
Mm-hmm.
The girl he's videotaping himself having relations with.
Coitus.
Scene. Coitus. Oh, hold on. Sorry. So, yeah, and it's him witnessing then Patrick Bateman's darker ego. So, like I said, I haven't read the whole thing, but in a way, the book kind of confirms that what's happening is in reality. So if that's the discussion that you're going to have, once more, even the writer of the novel says the ending of did he or did he not do it doesn't matter.
That's not the point.
That's not the point. The point is this dude still fantasizes about these things regularly, even if he didn't do it, which is pretty freaking awful, right? And then so it kind of follows him through that first interaction with the girl who's his first victim in the film. And dang, I keep freaking forgetting his name here. It's freaking Donald. Oh my
Kimball.
God. Kimball. Donald Kimball. Yeah, is witnessing Patrick Bateman commit these atrocities. Piotr Kowalski's art. So, like I said, I discovered Piotr Kowalski through the beautiful work he did with Mark and Draco on Violator. And I think Brad Simpson was his colorist on that one as well. And Piotr Kowalski puts so much detail in his artwork. That was like a book that you had to have thousands or hundreds of characters fighting in a war on a page at one time. Not as grand of a scale, American Psychos, but Piotr Kowalski's art is still just so like dark and beautiful, and does this like crosshatchy thing. He creates like these really cool light and shadow. There is, dang it, I can't show any of this.
I know, none of it.
No.
There's a panel where, so that's half the story really quick. Half the story is about friggin' Donald Kimball. And then the other portion of the story jumps forward to 2011 to the same world of American Psycho, long past what we think, friggin' Paul Allen and
Right. It's
Patrick Bateman's
Lewis Carruthers' daughter.
is that who it is?
Lewis Carruthers.
How did I
Yeah.
miss that?
I think they just kind of allude to it by her name
Her name.
and last name.
Oh yeah.
It's like, you know, he was the one that was like,
Charlene Rollins Carruthers.
yeah. Oh, it does say, yeah.
It does say it on. I can show that part. The book ends with this. Like, so you kind of follow Charlene in 2011. They jump forward.
And her dad was like in love or obsessed with Patrick Bateman in it, in the
original movie.
film. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think,
And now she's having those fantasies about killing people.
yes, she's having fantasies about killing people. There's a nightclub. There's a dude straight up friggin' freebasing something in the bathroom during one of these things. And she gets in an altercation with a guy that doesn't take no or stop for an answer. And then she has some fantasies of, you know, unaliving the dude. That's what they say, right? Unaliving. And she ends up throwing up on the guy. And then later on, that victim is found dead. And Charlene Carruthers' license is
left by the body
at the crime scene. How far did you?
No, I only read the first issue.
That is the first issue in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you read it, Ty?
I read the first issue.
Okay, yeah, you did.
Did you even read
I
it?
know,
No, that's not what I meant. I'm just wondering if I didn't.
Did we spoil?
Did
Yeah.
I?
No, I read it.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the book, on the opening? How we feeling about it?
I'm interested to see it told from different perspectives and a whole new story, basically,
Yeah.
in the future. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool. And I wonder how much they're going to go into all of it.
We can pass this around. I don't know if you guys want to.
Nah, it's fine. I got it.
Browse through to look. Oh, wait, you're like, nah, I'm good.
No, like I got too
One
much
and
going on
done.
over here.
I'm over
We
here
got too much
running
going-
the decks, brother.
Well, it's funny because like we kind of talked about it before the show. I've seen American Psycho like in chunks,
Yeah.
and it's been a while since I've seen the full movie through those chunks. So reading her to the 2011 story was kind of cool because it's for someone like me who's never seen the movie fully can enjoy a new story.
Right.
Wasn't there an American Psycho sequel? And wasn't there Mila Kunis? Wasn't there like a female? Yeah. I'm not crazy.
Was it a series?
Was it Mila Kunis who was
I don't know. That's
Yeah.
on my timeline.
holy smokes. I was right about that.
American Psycho 2.
Yeah.
2002.
All American Girl came out in 2002. Dang, now
That's
we
only
gotta
2 years after the original.
we gotta track this down. Well, clearly the studio. I mean,
all
friggin-
profit.
yeah. I mean, friggin'
It's got Shatner in it.
What?
yeah,
This is a
there's-
different
so-
timeline than
Yeah, I
mine,
mean, well,
guys.
look, Mary
This
Herron.
didn't exist.
Mary Herron probably had, but I don't know. Now I'm wondering, is this okay? Oh, look,
Morgan Freeman directed it.
What? Am I reading-
Morgan J. Freeman,
Oh, yeah, it says
director.
director.
that's not like
That's
the
not-
Morgan.
that's
no, that's
no.
that's not.
What
the,
the
That's
hell?
Morgan J. Freeman.
That's Morgan J. Freeman, y'all. Not
Oh,
I was like, what are you
the fuck?
talking about?
2002.
I thought I
American
was
Psycho
going
2.
insane.
All American Girl is what
Ameri-
it's called. I gotta find this on VHS.
Well, so mine just
Yeah.
says American Psycho 2. Yours says All American Girl.
Well, I'm looking at it on IMDb, and it's all
American Psycho 2.
All
All American.
All American Girl, yeah.
Okay.
Or colon, right? Not semicolon. Colon.
It's
I
got
really want to watch that.
it's got an 11% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Hell yeah.
We gotta watch this movie.
Dude.
Yeah,
I mean, the character in it is Rachel Newman, so not
Not
the
related to
same.
this at all.
Yeah, but that's why I was like a little lost. I'm like, is this character gonna end up being part of? So, yeah, and it's Mila Kunis
Yeah, it is.
plays Rachel Newman. William Shatner's in it. Who else is in it of notoriety? Some smaller names on there. I guess kind of insane. Think about.
Yeah.
It.
Interesting.
Very interesting. I
I never knew that existed.
Once more one of the biggest discussions of the movie is, did this happen? Obviously in this interpretation of the film or of the story anyways, it does happen,
Hmm.
right? Thanks to Michael Calero. I don't know, like I said, I don't know. I'm wondering if the same themes of corporate callousness, criticism on male,
Yeah, I wonder how much of it's
toxicity
gonna
and-
be involved.
and I'm gonna assume that He probably gets it. I mean, he gets it. Michael gets it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna adapt that, you should probably get it.
I read up to issue 3 because
Okay.
it is really good, and I think it's only 5, so I'm almost there, and I'm like I got sucked in. I had to stop because I have to do stuff, and I have to live a life. And
Yeah.
stuff. It's pretty interesting, and it is pretty dark, and it's like a back way in, like a Wicked or a Cobra Kai and whatnot, like where there's a smaller character that you can kind of like sneak in an alternate story. I've always wanted somebody to do this sort of thing for The Sopranos as well.
Yeah.
Just
Maybe
thinking about
you
my
do it.
Maybe you be the guy.
I haven't. I do. I want to write, but it's like I don't know. I always wanted to know what happened to Johnny Cakes after they killed Vito. Johnny Cakes was like Vito's lover. No,
I never watched the show.
Okay, man. Oh, I wanted a Johnny Cakes story. Someone just out there, just write it for me.
Why don't you do it?
You do it, Pablo.
Maybe.
What's stopping you?
Johnny Cakes was a badass character. Anyways, but I liked this turn into it.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was really cool, especially with like that character, Willem Dafoe's character, being such a weird
little
random
guy.
Yeah,
Weird little guy.
He is just a weird little guy. He's like randomly injected in the movie. I'm like, oh, it's kind of perfect that you did it, because we've already seen the exploration of the Wall Street douchebag.
Yeah.
And this is a little bit of I would say maybe an exploration of somebody like, I guess if callousness or greed is the sin of American Psycho, this one would be like envy.
Yeah, maybe so.
Right? Like it could be a touch on like, celebrity worship.
He doesn't seem like a good guy either.
No, he's not. He's not a good guy. But I mean, like once more, there's that celebrity worship kind of like element to certain things. Why people will blindly devote themselves to a specific individual, although they consistently do wrong things. Are you yawning, Diddy?
Nope. I can't prove it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have anything on camera, so
It wasn't on camera.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Johnny California talking about how American Psycho was a great.
I was.
You are. I see. You just said it. Verbal confirmation.
I was on camera too.
Whatever. We've gone long. We have gone long. We were tight last week. We got loose this week.
You know what? Because we didn't have a number 1 issue.
We didn't have a number 1 issue, but
we were talking about a bunch of film.
Yeah.
A lot of. We did a live reaction.
And a live reaction.
First time.
We're gonna dice that up into a clip.
Yeah. My face the whole time is just like this. For what? So entertaining.
Yeah.
You were at least talking. I was just like,
Pablo's like, where's that D-Rex?
That's all he cares about.
That D-Rex. Man, that D-Rex. That's so is it?
You keep saying it.
That's the name of the show. What did we say earlier? Dinosaur, Scarlett Johansson, and what else? I don't remember. It should be D-Rex. AI D-Rexes and Scarlett Johansson.
Sharks. No, sharks. It was sharks. Jump in the sharks with the D-Rex.
Sharks, baboons, and D-Rexes. Oh my.
Yeah. That's it.
There it is.
And douchebags.
Oh yeah. Sharks, douchebags, and D-Rexes. That's the one.
I think we did it, guys.
Rolls off the tongue, guys. Y'all just witnessed that in real time. We just friggin' workshop that shit out right here in live.
A little behind the scenes action for you.
It's got that behind the scenes here. The depression.
Normally the Patreon.
Damn it.
A24, who's sponsoring us?
That's right.
Barnes and Noble?
Barnes and Noble.
I will definitely say pick up the book.
Yeah.
Find it. Find Sumerian. Sumerian does a bunch of really, really cool stuff. Once more, you mentioned that they're a record label.
Yes.
And
then they also do, if you guys are still on that vampire high, A Girl Walks Alone at Night.
Oh, yeah.
Movie is now in comic book form.
Nice. I love that movie.
Yeah, again, Sumerian picked that up after Behemoth.
Nice.
Yeah. They've been at a couple cons too.
Yeah, they have. They're always really cool at the cons. Anytime I go to that booth, they
got music videos playing in the background.
They got a lot of cool. Yeah, they do a lot of stuff for musicians and stuff as well. They have like a lot of I mean, obviously collabs with musicians on creating graphic novels.
Yeah, Bad Omens has their comic, which sold out really, really quick. It's got a huge fan base, so the Sumerian exclusive cover sold out, but you can still get
#1 at your local comic book shops that are selling it.
It looks like they did a comic for Under Oath. They're only chasing safety.
Yes, they did, and there was one that came with a vinyl. I don't know if that's sold out on their website.
Oh man, I'm gonna do a little shopping. There's an Offspring come out and play graphic novel. Deliverance, Kingdom Come. There's a lot of cool stuff, man. Check out Sumerian. I like that we can spotlight a publisher like this. Definitely cool. Definitely worth picking up if you're a fan of American Psycho. If you like that discussion that we had, please hit that subscribe button. God, I know I hate doing this, but I have to do it. It does help us out. Apparently, if you hit a like, or if you leave a comment, or if you hit that stupid little bell icon or whatever it may be, tremendously. Other than that, Diddy, anything to wrap it up with, or where can we find you or whatever it may be?
Find me here at the Deeper Issues Nerdcast.
That's right.
And also live.julian.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Ty, you're
That's
all
where I'm
over
at.
the internet.
You're all over there.
You can find Ty in person doing shit.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Doing all this shit.
Maybe.
If you go to a concert, more than likely Ty's going to be there.
Yeah.
I do have a concert this week.
Doesn't matter.
And next week.
What? Who are you going to see?
This week I'm going with my friend Ryan. We're seeing, I hope I'm pronouncing her right. I got invited to this concert. Maro, Maro. She's a Portuguese guitarist. Really, really cool music.
Cool.
Check it out. And then next week, bless him, Jared got us tickets to the Blink-182 Alkaline Trio Fire Benefit Show.
What?
Sick.
Yeah.
That is sick.
Tom DeLonge?
Yeah, dude. And it's funny because if you remember, Matt Skiba from Alkaline covered for him when he was gone. So
Mhm.
they'll probably do some songs together.
Yeah. You can talk to him about aliens and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Tom was right.
Tom was
I
right.
need that
You're right,
t-shirt.
bro. This is going to be the year. Either this year or next year. 25, 26.
Aliens.
We're going to fucking meet the aliens. I'm like, quote me right now. I'm like 95% sure
Ballerina's
That's-
so lovey tonight.
those aliens, because I just rescued her from a crazy cat bite. He's always,
Or did you
Loving.
rescue the other cat?
maybe I rescued the other cat. I don't know. You should see the other guy. I mean, she looks fine. Ty, where can we find you?
You can find me at Ty Photography on
That's
most social media platforms, and of course here at the Deeper Issues Nerdcast.
There you go.
Pablo, you?
You can find me here at the Deep Version Nerdcast, of course, on all social medias. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, all those things once more. Helps us out tremendously if you just like engage. Yeah, that wraps it up. We will be back next week with Bug Wars, new Jason Aaron comic. Yeah, that deserved an air horn.
I don't know if you mean
Bug
that or not.
Wars. No, I do. It does deserve an air horn. Why wouldn't it?
It's a dope comic. We have the Ash.
I mean, Jason Aaron, baby.
Yeah,
Oh,
we have
yeah.
the Ashcan.
We do have the Ashcan, so we're gonna
Excited
be like
about it.
we're still probably gonna read it like right before we
day
go
of.
on.
Half hour before.
Right.
In true Deeper Issue Nerdcast fashion. of
While
course.
we're live.
Just
Tom and
letting-
Jeff will be reading it live.
Just letting y'all know that's probably what's gonna happen. But yeah, let's play it out here. Yeah, until next time, be kind to each other, keep reading, and may all of your issues.
Fantasies of God.